if the Commanders win the Super Bowl, I'll get shot in my leg.
Okay, awesome. I will shoot you.
Yeah.
Okay,
perfect. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
I knew
Veto.
I should.
Yeah. No, you can't veto
Jake,
that.
you can't
he just said it.
You can't
You
veto.
want to get shot?
No,
I want a
you're not
Super
going to
Bowl.
win the Super Bowl. On today's Pardon My Take, week 1 of the NFL season, we're going to go through every single game, fastest 2 minutes. It was a crazy week 1, topped off by an absolute stinker of Sunday Night Football. But we're going to talk about every single game. We also have Who's Back of the Week. We're going to talk a little college football. We have Football Guy of the Week. It's back, baby. It's the favorite. It's the best thing that we do. We love doing these Monday shows for everyone. Football is all the way back and is brought to you by our friends at Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Billy, Broncos going to the Seahawks tonight. What is the get-in price in Seattle?
$72.
$72 on the Game Time app to go boo or cheer Russell Wilson. And what about Thursday night, the huge matchup, Chargers-Chiefs?
$58.
$58.
Lower.
That's an absolute bargain. That's Game Time. They have the best prices out there. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. The Game Time app is the only place you should be getting tickets, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Again, download the Game Time app, go to the account tab, create a login, redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take, presented by Game Time, the exclusive ticketing app for Barstool Sports. Go check out Game Time right now. Today is Monday, September 12th, week 1. We start in Detroit Rock City.
Wait, fuck, sorry. You blew it out and then
That was the best whoop ever.
The momentum is awesome.
That first whoop was fucking killer, dude.
Hank throws a banana peel
How
in front
could
of
you
us.
do that? You should
What
keep
the
this
fuck?
in. We
Yeah,
should
yeah,
keep this
you
in.
should. Hey.
This would be funny. I mean, everyone needs preseason.
I
Hank
also
needs his
I couldn't
preseason
help but
reps.
notice, Big Cat, that we were both speaking directly into the mic on
Yeah,
that.
that first whoop felt so. I haven't whooped since last year.
Billy, do we have any salts?
no, I'll get some.
Oh, that one, it's like it rings in my ears.
that one hit off the window.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hit the back wall on
boy.
this. Ready?
Oh shit!
Oh,
You can hear it ringing.
can I do one?
Yeah, do it. Try one.
Jake. Oh, that was good.
All right, what do you want us to do, Hank?
It's tough because if you whop
All right,
so
that.
we whop away?
We'll go back.
Well, no, it's like I'll turn.
How
All
about
right,
this?
no, we'll go back.
We'll whop
go
away.
back.
We'll
We'll
this
whop
way.
away. We'll whop away.
No, you can whop just like.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like this.
Yeah? Walk
All right.
this way.
All right. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna do the intro again. I'm just say week 1.
We listen to YouTube. We'll cut it from the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Week 1. We start in Detroit Rock City, where the Lions were feeling soupy as Ramon-Ra St. Brown started hot but then cooled off as their coach had a brain full of Dan Campbell's chunky chicken noodle soup after calling for an inopportune onside kick. Speaking of chicken, Miles Colonel Sanders was playing chicken, but Boston Market Scott had a side of mashed pataties as everyone was expecting a Russian attack from the Eagles, but it was AJ Ava Brown that made Lions fans pop that cyanide capsule. Eagles 38, Browns 35. What?
Down in Miami, where the Patriots lost the Battle of Bunker Hill as Tyreek caught bombs from World War II. Mac Prescott Jones went down to Florida and got his ass kicked like it was spring break. Kendrick Softcore Bourne had a hard time doing hand stuff unlike his owner, Robert Kraft, and Matt Lauer Patricia is going to be locked in his office reviewing film from this offense's woeful performance. Let's go down to the field with head coach Mike McDaniel for his first win in the NFL. Thanks, Mike. Dolphins 20, Patriots 7.
Up to the Meadowlands, where in a touching tribute to my good friend Queen Elizabeth, the Ravens put their queen in the box, daring the Jets to throw. Rashad Patrick Bateman money laundered Lamar Jackson's soiled pants and caught a touchdown from his quarterback. As Lamar Samuel L. Jackson once famously said, "I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on the motherfucking plane." And speaking of planes, Mark Andrews was able to take down the Jets' defensive attack with 52 yards receiving. Braxton Leather Berrios left a bad taste in everyone's mouth because the Jets are ass again. Ravens 24, Jets 9.
Down to the Queen City. Now watch me pit. Now watch me AJ. But with 3 missed kicks, the stinky legs belong to the Steelers and the Bengals. It looked like a Lady Vols game out there with the orange uniforms and missing pats. Devin George W. Bush was a weapon of pass destruction as "we did it, Joe" Burrow was biding his time in the pocket. Chris All's well that Boswell kicked the game winner in overtime, and the Steelers take down the defending AFC champs. The Steelers 23, the Bengals 20.
Next door to the other Queen City, again, my personal friend Queen Elizabeth passed away this week at the ripe age of 96. I miss Lizzie so much. She was at the catch with me, the Schwam. In a touching tribute to their suspended teammate, the Browns forced the Chubb against the rule. Laker Mayfield couldn't find the magic as the bad blood was confirmed positive in game week press conferences, and the Browns had full-blown Cades. York, that is, as the kicker nailed a 58-yarder for the win. Browns 26, Panthers 24.
In Royal John, Maryland, the Jaguars drafted Trevor Lawrence too damn high. The Jags were pinned deep, but Travis ATM was money. However, after all the wealth was spread around, momentum swung to the commies. Carson Wentzboro Baptist Church said, "God hates Jags," as he went through the passing of the Christ to Antonio Mel Gibson, and the Washington Commanders are in the win column, 28-22.
Out in the NFC, Westminster Abbey, where the king's buried, if you want to see the queen, you're going to have to look up to the sky more. And Juju Smith-Schuster was coughing the ball up, but if you're looking for pallbearers, you might want to get 6 Cardinals because they're sure to let you down. Greg Dortch. Went dorched earth in a losing effort as the Chiefs' defense had Kyler Murray with no aim assist in the gulag, running around with no plates.
Learn from the lost failures. Failure's a proper teacher.
Chiefs 44, Cardinals 21.
Sounds good. Up to the NFC North, where Aaron Rodgers was missing a little LSD. Lazard, Scantling, and Devontae, that is. Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousin were flying around as the Minnesota Vikings were saying "Skol" all Sunday, and Packer fans were Copenhagen about their team's lack of buzz.
Probably wish Rodgers didn't ditch that long cut, Boom.
Great point, Deej. It's a new era in town as the Kevin O'Connell era starts with a dub. Vikings 23, Packers 7.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston down in NOLA. Such a fine sight to see. Dirty Birds, my lord, up on the scoreboard. And Jameis throwing to Mike T. He's on a heater. That's my leader. He cut the lead in half. He's the original crab feeder. Spoiler alert, Boom.
The Saints go marching 27-26. And that was Fastest 2 Minutes back. Thank you to Chevy, our sponsor, for the fastest 2 minutes. The Chevy Silverado is commanding, unstoppable, and powerful. It's always truck season here at PMT, but now it's also tailgate season with the Chevy Silverado. Brought to you by Chevy Silverado. Learn more at Chevy.com. Tell them PMT sent you. Get $100 off your brand new Chevy Silverado. That was week 1. That was fucking awesome.
I'm so glad that football's back.
Listen, we just watched an absolute stinker on Sunday Night Football, and we'll start with that game, but let's not let it ruin how sick that witching hour was and how awesome watching all those games. There was a moment there, we had 2 games that we thought were going to go to a tie, and there was like 4 different plays that were all swung the entire how the game was going to be played out all at the same time, and we all were just like, we're losing our minds, we're back.
I need a couple weeks, I think, to get readjusted to watching that type of football, because when every game was being switched back and forth, back and forth, back and forth everywhere on all these TVs, I was struggling to process all the data at once. My brain needs to get back into the reps. I've obviously been out of the game for, 7 months now,
Right.
however long it's been since the Super Bowl. My brain struggled to keep up at times out there, but I loved it. I loved the rush. I miss it so much. And yeah, the night game stunk. But as far as Cowboys losses go, you can have boring Cowboys losses, or you can have Cowboys losses that end in a hilarious injury when then Jerry Jones gets on the microphone. And I don't think that HIPAA exists for Jerry Jones.
No.
Like, he can just say whatever, right? He can be like, yeah, we're going to have to cut it off. Dak's contract signing hand is fucked.
It's like it's the best because if you're a beat writer for the Cowboys, you never have to be like, oh, I got to work sources. I just have to show up to Jerry Jones' press conference. He immediately said, like every other team, like TJ Watt comes off the field, says you can read his lips saying, I think I tore my pec.
Yeah.
We still don't have an absolute, like, he hasn't done the MRI yet, so we're still like, oh, maybe leaving the hope for the fans.
Yeah.
Jerry, I don't even think the game was over, and he was just basically in front of a camera being like, yep, Dak broke his hand, out for a few weeks, sucks for us. And now the Cowboys, I mean, Mike McCarthy's gone, officially gone. I don't know what he was doing punting. That was just classic Mike McCarthy. No one has ever done a better job at like pretending there's something like completely different than what they actually are. When he went to the interview with Jerry Jones being like, I know analytics, I'm new age now. And then you flash forward and Mike McCarthy's down 2 possessions, punting with like 6 minutes left.
There's phoning it in, and then there's whatever Mike McCarthy's doing. And maybe he's caught in a situation where, like we were talking about Coach O last week, where Coach O was so happy to get the buyout and get out of town. Like McCarthy, I think he's been trying to get fired for a while now, and he's doing everything that you would do if you were a coach trying to get fired, knowing that Jerry Jones is just going to hire Sean Payton, probably already has a handshake deal, needs a couple seasons to let that cool off, because I bet you Jerry Jones thought about just like firing Mike McCarthy 2 weeks after he hired him. Yeah. After he like hung out with him enough and got his vibe, he's like, this was a mistake, I want to fire him.
Mike McCarthy definitely like spilled something on one of Jerry Jones's couches, probably farted in an inopportune time. Like, one of those, Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones went out to get like, hey, coach, do you want me to get you a drink? He gets up to go to like the refrigerator or something. And then he comes back. He's like, did you fart? And Mike McCarthy's like, no, I think that's your dog. It's like Jerry's like, I haven't had a dog in 10 years, Mike.
It could be something as simple as just Mike McCarthy sneezes in a meeting and a booger comes out a little bit.
Or he farts when he sneezes.
And then Jerry just looks at him like, this is my guy?
Yeah.
The booger sneeze guy?
Yeah,
I hired this guy?
He's got a mustard stain on his shirt.
Yeah.
I also think Mike McCarthy, I know what you're doing, Mike McCarthy. The jacket that you have that you're like pulling up over your neck that keeps getting higher and higher, I know what you're doing. It's not working. I still think you're fat and dumb.
So I always laugh when they send the doctor out onto the field for the Dallas Cowboys, because he's a guy wearing the hat.
Yep.
And everyone always is like, oh, I can't believe the doctor's wearing a cowboy hat. I don't have a problem with the doctor wearing a cowboy hat. In fact, I actually stay woke. I think that it's Jerry Jones, and he might have a bug inside that hat. That's how he gets the injury information so
instantly.
quickly. You remember when Homer Simpson wore the surveillance cowboy hat?
Yes.
That's what he's doing with the doctor. I don't have a problem with the cowboy hat. I just wish it was bigger.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be trusting myself to a cowboy doctor, I don't want him to be wearing like a tiny little like half-assed cowboy hat. I want it to be 10 gallons.
Well, no, he needs to match the hat with the like level of player. If Dak gets injured, you need to come out with the biggest hat you've ever seen. Yeah. If it's like a special teamer, you come out with like a tiny little, like maybe even like a miniature cowboy hat. And it's like, you don't deserve the big cowboy hat. So then the fans can be like, oh, like big time player, big cowboy hat.
Or like based on the extent of the injury, how serious it is, that he takes off the small hat, puts the big one. This is the surgical hat I'm putting on right now. That way Jerry immediately knows how bad the injury is so he can leak it to the press.
Yes. So the Cowboys stunk. Like they stunk
pretty bad.
I actually didn't think the Bucs were like incredible. The Bucs, I don't know what they're doing, but it felt like every single one of their skill position players got hurt at some point during the game. Julio Jones got hurt for a minute. Mike Evans got hurt. Chris Godwin, which I can't even believe he's back already, he got hurt for a minute. Leonard Fournette got hurt.
Their offensive line.
So
everybody except for their 45-year-old quarterback got hurt.
Yes, it feels like the Bucs are going to be a really good team this year if they can just not have everyone get hurt every single game. But I didn't walk away. That wasn't like, wow, the Bucs look like they're upper echelon. And of course, it's Tom Brady, so they'll probably play themselves into it. It was more, damn, the Cowboys suck.
I actually thought Leonard Fournette looked better than I thought he was.
Oh, yeah.
So Leonard Fournette pulled a fast one on us this offseason by getting all the buzz going about how fat he is. Great move on his part because
Fantastic.
He might be fat right now. He might be heavier than he was last year, but based on what my expectation was going to be, I was expecting like 320-pound Leonard Fournette to show up and be like throwing up Chinese food on every carry.
Yes.
The fact that he's putting his shoulder down and getting first downs without injuring his hamstring is like, wow, this guy's all pro.
Yeah, he seems fine. I'm now looking at the schedule because I want the Cowboys. So this is the only thing you don't want. Here's what we have to be ready for. The Cowboys are going to suck this year because Cooper Rush is going to play, and we had the one Cooper Rush game against the Vikings. Cooper Rush is going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Dak is going to be out for let's call it a month and a half. So their season's going to be over by the time Dak comes back. The one thing we can't have happen is they do a full tank season and then they get like Bryce Young.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that.
I think they would. Dak sucks
because of Dak's contract. Actually, like the way
just always get rid of guys.
We can laugh about Dak's injury because it's a objectively funny injury. He hurt his thumb, and so it's not like his career is in jeopardy at this point.
Right.
And the Cowboys are just going to have to like build all the pieces around him and wait for him to return, and he's still going to be their quarterback. I think Jerry Jones has certain guys that he loves. He loves Ezekiel Elliott. He loves anyone that plays for the University of Arkansas, and he loves Dak Prescott.
Ezekiel Elliott, by the way, just wearing a visor. I think it was just the like, I don't even want to be here, so I want to like be in a different dimension visor.
No,
you can't see. He can't see anything.
He looked like a car.
Yeah,
he actually looked like his body looked like an automobile.
Yes, and then we have to mention Chris Collinsworth, dude. Take a day off. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
That made the bad game worse.
I was thinking that maybe he was pissed off watching the Florida game yesterday. He was like yelling at his TV. That's the only thing that I can think of. But he sounded like Dak Prescott looked.
Yes, he sounded like I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake, go ahead, Billy.
Speaking of voices, Tom Brady was doing an interview after the game, and his voice sounded super high, which would be evidence of a nose job like PFT's been saying.
Yeah.
And it's called hyponasality. And it's, after nose jobs, turns out you have a high-pitched voice.
Well, I mean, it's very obvious that he got something done.
His nose is so skinny right now.
And Giselle tweeted, "Let's go Tom Brady." So that's case closed.
Definitely
not getting divorced.
That actually, the fact that your spouse is adding you on Twitter tells me actually it's worse than we thought. Like, that's not normal behavior. I went back through her timeline a little bit, not being horny. Just looking at the Instagram posts that she's put up in the past, she's never once wished Tom Brady, hey, at Tom Brady, hey, at my husband, good luck today. Seems like she's overcompensating a little bit.
She tweeted something and you started going on her Instagram?
Yeah.
Well, because all of her tweets looked back to her Instagram. They linked back to it.
It would be funny if it was just Bonner.
I do want to say, I was actually thinking like it might be Tom Brady's social people like
Billy Carlin.
Like talking to themselves. Being like, hey, Tom, I love you. And he just sits back. Nice job.
Yep, did it.
That's all. But if Giselle does want to talk about it, like,
put it all the way on the list. Jake.
Offer extended.
Can we, Chris Collinsworth's got to sit out. You can't do that.
So this is the only week that he has to do 2-a-days, 2 games in a week because
that's a 2-a-day.
But something happened in between. Yeah. It wasn't, that wasn't
weird.
2-a-day.
It was weird. I don't know what happened.
His son is literally right there.
Well, it's a different role.
Yeah, but they sound the same.
He's already, just put his son in there.
Sound the same.
I don't know.
I actually think that you could do a pretty good job calling a game with a Chris Collinsworth soundboard.
Yeah,
like,
easily.
Here's a guy.
He would just be like, here's a guy, Al. And Mike would be like, that's not my name.
Yeah, right.
All right, Al, have another steak.
And it was such a snoozer, no one would even notice. Mm-hmm. Mike Tirico could have just done the game by himself.
Yeah.
He easily could have. He's consummate pro.
Okay, so let's just set aside Dak's injury here.
They should have mic'd up Tom Brady and had him just practice.
Yeah, it'd be good reps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be wonderful.
The best reps are when no one's watching.
Yeah. Is that true?
I used to do YouTube games in college.
Fuck yeah.
In my dorm, I would record on my phone.
Next level mental reps, like
Yeah,
Russell Wilson.
Can't hurt. More reps
Russell
the better.
Wilson doing reps where he's
Doing the fake high fives.
fake high fives. Yeah.
He high-fived you at training camp,
Kind of.
or he smacked your butt.
Yeah, I actually should sue him.
Yeah.
So I was
Me
thinking.
too.
I was thinking about what happened here with the Cowboys today, and let's just set aside the fact that Dak Prescott got injured. Why the fuck do they shove Dallas down our face every year?
Because it's
It makes no sense.
No, it makes perfect
I
sense.
don't even think that they're relevant. I think that most people just like to watch them lose.
Dude,
I don't think that they have a big fan base anymore.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's the fact that we're not the people why Dallas is on. We watch football no matter what.
Who is that person?
It's the people who are like, should I watch a game tonight? I don't know. Oh, the Cowboys, they were good 30 years ago. Right. I'm gonna tune it in. That's all it is.
It's old people.
No, but
I don't think the youths care about the Dallas Cowboys. They're like the Clintons.
No, but
they were big in the 90s, and they make me want to kill myself.
they would kill you.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Everybody around them wants to sue.
No, it makes perfect sense though. If there was like 100, if you're trying to get 100 people to watch, like let's say a game's on, right? And 100 people are going to watch. 120 are going to watch because of the Cowboys. 80 are going to you're going to lose, or you'll get exactly 100 if the Jaguars are on.
Wait,
you always get 20 more people.
So you always get 20 more people when the Cowboys are playing.
Yes, or the Giants.
Exactly 20 more people.
No, I'm just saying like round numbers.
The Giants?
Yeah, the
Giants are in the same boat
They're
for
in
me.
New York. Like this is it's not news. It's not news why the first take will always lead with the Cowboys, the Lakers, LeBron. Like it's
so
just
the
101.
Lakers make more sense. It's just that, and I would agree with you to a certain point, like 5-10 years ago with the Cowboys. But at this point, I don't know who out there is still clamoring for more Cowboys content.
It's not that people are clamoring for it. It's just that the people who are right, and the people who aren't gonna watch are gonna watch because the Cowboys are on. It's a name. It's a brand recognition that they're like, oh, the Cowboys are on.
I don't know.
I'm gonna watch.
I don't know. I say
it always does. The Cowboys, the Giants,
I understand
the Packers actually do big numbers.
I understand the concept of needle moving teams. I just think that the Cowboys might be reaching the point where they're not a needle moving team anymore.
I mean, they were pretty good last year. Like they played in fun games. So I don't know. I think you're just thinking of this game.
Yeah,
this game sucked.
This game sucked, and most Cowboys games do suck.
Yeah, this game was terrible. All right, so
but Ezekiel Elliott looks cool.
Yeah, he does. He looks very cool.
And Skip, by the way,
like a car I can't
literally jumped on the bandwagon. He took off a Dak jersey and put on a Brady jersey.
Oh wow!
Oh man, that's gross.
When you've lost Skip Bayless,
no, the first take and Skip show are gonna just do like an hour of Dak talk.
It's called Undisputed.
Undisputed.
Yeah,
there we
and
go.
Shannon Sharp's on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna debate Dak like for an hour and a half. Boom,
See,
show gets made.
If I were him, I would. I don't believe that he's actually getting rid of that jersey for free.
No,
I think Skip's going to, because if he was serious about it, he would have put it in his penis microwave.
Yeah, or the trash where he then pulls it out.
Yep.
3 weeks later.
I think we haven't seen the last of Skip in a Cowboys uniform.
No, he will be back. All right, let's get into the games. Let's hop right in. We should have said this off the top. Jake, PFT, Max, welcome to the 1-0 club.
Feels good.
Congratulations.
Feels good to be a winner, guys. I love winning with y'all.
Welcome to the 1-0 club. Billy, you kind of ruined it because it would have been awesome if it was just Hank. But let's start with that game. Dolphins 20, Patriots 7. The Mike McDaniel era starts with a very impressive win. It also starts with Tyreek Hill saying McDaniel's going to need a wheelbarrow for his nuts to carry them around. He was talking about, which was kind of the deciding factor of the game, Bill Belichick at the end of the second quarter deciding not to use any of his timeouts to try to get the ball back. Mike McDaniel's being like, fuck it, we're going to go for this. 4th and 7, scores a touchdown. You got grown men waddling in the stadium. And the Patriots, go ahead, Hank.
Look, I've put some thought into this the last couple of days, and even kind of last year. But it's just, when the show started, whatever it was, 7 years ago, and for the last 5 years, even last year a little bit. Obviously, it was a little bit, kind of forced. But we did beat the Bills in the cold game. We did have a lead in the AFC East later in the season. But I'm just ready to fully admit that the Patriots are not the Patriots anymore. They're not the Patriots that I grew up since I was 9 years old, loving and rooting for, the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick Patriots, who basically were the Bills are this year. They're perennial Super Bowl favorites. Every single game you expect them to win. If they lose anywhere, even if they lose in the AFC Championship, that's a lost season. Like, that's the Bills this year. If they lose, they don't win the Super Bowl, it's a loss.
Wow, I like what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
you're putting this
really
like
smart.
if the Bills don't
This
win the
is
Super
genius.
Bowl,
But
you're like they're no Patriots.
Yeah,
and you're still.
I'm talking about the Patriots.
You're
but the
retroactively
Bills.
comparing the old Patriots already to the Bills. I like it. I think it's
but
smart.
I'm just talking about
This is
like
really
how
smart.
it would feel when the Patriots would lose. It'd be a regular season loss. You'd be devastated. And now realistically, it's like, and they still should have beat the Dolphins. It's a rookie head coach against Belichick. That's a tough. That's a tough loss. But
You got
I
outcoached.
just don't have whereas before, if the Patriots didn't win the championship, I was devastated. Now it's like if the Patriots make the playoffs, that's a winning season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
every
that's loser
Sunday it's
talk.
like when it is, but I'm just like
welcome to the
I've
club.
come down to earth.
You're back
You're
with
us.
the normal
I'm
people.
fully ready to admit that the Patriots, like, I'm not going to be cocky.
You woke up
Henry.
from the dream.
Yes.
You
I just-
basically
yes.
woken up because I watching the game today, hearing you and the way you were talking, I could tell there was a tone change. You were like, "This team is not good."
No.
They reminded me at times of like a Big Ten West offense where it felt like every single yard was hard to get. Like every first down was hard to get. Every like drive was like, every play just felt difficult.
And they don't have a dominant defense. That could have been Mike McDaniel was he called every single play.
was
had
doing
the
it all.
playbook. He was calling like the craziest misdirection screen plays, cross plays I've never even seen before.
Well, you realize that it might be a smart idea to just get the ball into the fastest player in the history of the earth. Like, get the ball into his hands a few times a game. Like, they're scheming him open, and obviously the Patriots are trying to stop him. But, Hank, you're right that it seemed like when the Patriots had the ball, or maybe Big Cat, you might have just said this, but the first downs that they were getting, which were few and far between, seemed like they were scratching and clawing to get every single yard. There were so many, 7-yard completions that were, to the far side of the field where Mac puts his entire body into it. You make a diving catch, and it's the hardest 7 yards you've ever gotten.
Right.
Nothing seemed easy for the Patriots, and it's very nice to see Hank get humbled like this. It really is, and I think you're taking it pretty well. I'm sure you'll lash out eventually about all this, but
No,
that's
the thing where people, I think, want to get mad and be like, "Oh, the Patriots." It's like,
I like that you're
they're
becoming
not that good
you're
anymore. We won 3 Super Bowls when I was a kid. My middle age, high school, and beginning of college years were tough. We had 2 Super Bowl losses,
Man.
and then we won 3 Super Bowls right when I started working at Barstool. They were unbelievable times. I'll never forget them. But those days are over.
Yeah,
And
you're
accepted
accepting
that.
it,
I've
which
accepted
is
that.
nice. I'm looking forward to you becoming a loser just like us, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Like scratching and clawing your way to 7-10, man.
But with all this said, Belichick's still I don't think that they didn't look very good, but I'm trying to not overreact to everything week 1 except the Packers are completely dead. I'm trying to have a little bit of big picture. So I'm sure the Patriots will look good next week, but this one was a little shocking just with how tough it looked for them to get yards.
Also, but that kind of plays into the whole, it is true they had one of the best offensive-minded, Jules was talking about it, Josh McDaniels is one of the best
Matt
offensive
Patricia.
minds in the entire league. He's obviously coaching with the Raiders now, and it's not all Belichick. Everyone gives all the credit to Belichick, but I think it's obviously proven over the years, no more Brady, no more McDaniels. It's not just Belichick, and when you lose one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league,
What if
your offense isn't going to look as good.
What if-
it's not like rocket science?
What
I
if
guess.
I was
Patricia would know.
Patricia, what if this is
yeah.
actually the
if it was rocket science, they'd probably be better.
This is the best part of what Belichick has done. You can just basically say everything that he does is genius and calculated. What if he was like Matt Patricia, offensive coordinator? He's going to be so bad. He will be the perfect fall guy. Everyone would be like, look at this dumb idiot who's trying to coach, do plays. Bill Belichick is just trying to set his guys up. How could you blame him for being loyal?
Well,
So
that's
I
why
actually
he said
think
that. Him and Joe Judge,
I think it's
you don't even know
even
who's
more
calling the
smart.
plays.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's one level past what Big Cat said, which is he's putting all the attention on Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, and you don't know even which one of those two guys is fucking everything up. It's one of them
genius.
is.
It's
so
genius.
it's Belichick.
Patriots might be back.
It's Belichick
taking all the blame and responsibility and getting rid of it himself, while also not throwing one single guy under the bus because it's still up in the air. It's like, you know how in a firing squad you give one guy the blank so they don't know that they're the ones. He's probably got them both calling plays, and they don't know which one is actually the one that's being used as the offensive
And that's
coordinator.
why Mac Jones is struggling. Now, this is the big question: is Mac Jones the guy?
He hurt his back. He got X-rays on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because that's the
Brian Hoyer
part that
time.
you have to ask yourself, because it's not like, I still think if Belichick wants to keep coaching, he could coach for another decade and probably win a ton of football games. But if you don't have the quarterback, if he's not the quarterback, when are you going to start asking yourself that? Or
I think he's the guy. I think it's
Okay.
his second year.
Okay.
Tom Brady's second year,
I mean, we're going to talk about the Bears, but there was moments in the first half of that
They
game
won
where I
the
was
Super
like,
Bowl,
what
but
are
it
we
was
doing?
on the back of one of the best defenses of all time.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Okay.
Tom Brady wasn't the guy in 2001.
Now-
So, hey, Hank, I got a tough question for you. Hypothetically, what would you do if Belichick left and coached somewhere else?
I'd be destroyed.
That'd be a real shame.
Why
What
would
are
you
you
even say that?
saying?
No, I'm just curious. What would I like if
Nebraska?
No, I'm curious.
Oh.
Well, yeah, the job's open right now. Like, what
Listen, this is where it's like you guys haters always trying
lacrosse?
to make me
What if you
feel
left
bad.
to coach
I don't
lacrosse?
think I'm a hater.
I don't-
That was a real question. This is a real question that, again, you haven't had to go through, but going through the process of, is the current quarterback the guy? That's a hard thing to do as a fan that most fans of NFL teams have had to do many times over. Unfortunately, many, many times over.
Yeah, I think you got to give it time. Again, it's only his second year. But I think it's a lot less stress-free when your team isn't that good. Like, again, I bring up the Bills analogy, and I'm not doing that to troll. I'm really not. The Bills are the Super Bowl favorites, and it's like there's so much pressure on them. So much pressure every single game. If they lose, the world is falling.
Yeah.
And if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's a humongous failure. Like, that's a lot of pressure week one, and then you have to watch that the entire season. It's not fun. It's very unnerving.
It's like that new Nick Cage movie. Was it like The Enormous Weight of Incredible Talent?
Yes.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown is what Hank's getting at.
and that's where it's like the Bills. It's Super Bowl or bust. And it's not. It's a lot.
Hank, your quarterback the guy is a conversation that I have in my head every single day forever, because that's just when you don't have a guy, you're just constantly asking yourself that. So that was why I asked. You might not even be close to there with Mac Jones.
I like Mac Jones. I think he's the guy.
So there you go. Then you're good. You're good.
And you know what we're getting at here? Like, I just realized what we've done. We just buried the Patriots week one.
No,
And
that's what I'm saying. I'm not
if
trying to overreact.
Well, we kind of did. And I'm standing by our overreaction because I do think that they stink.
No, I think they're going to win next week. I'm actually going to take them against the Steelers.
But then what's going to happen is, like, I'm terrified now that the Patriots are going to go on like a serious run later this season, and then Hank's going to be like, "Suck my dick, you guys." I'm back, and he's going to forget all the humility and lessons learned. And Hank's going to do another victory lap and do a little parade, sticking his chest out like he's dotting the I.
I did that last year, and after the playoff game against the Bills, I was like,
I'm not burying them.
It's over.
I was just asking you that question because I'm like thinking about how
The Bills
often,
are the best team in the AFC East.
Yeah, I was just thinking how often I have that conversation with like friends and everyone. Like, is this person the guy? And it sucks because then you're just constantly like, Memes is just nodding his head behind me, like, because he's just like, yeah, the Jets every 2 years.
Mike White.
Yeah.
Jake, do you have any comment about the Dolphins?
Jake,
because I would like to see you put your sportsmanship on full display.
The Dolphins looked awesome.
Yeah,
they looked incredible.
The first half, I've never felt that before. Good coaching decisions, good quarterback play, explosive plays, great defense. They had the scoop and score. Like, it was literally
Melvin Ingram,
a perfect 30 minutes of football. I've never experienced that.
We blew
in my
that
life.
one with Melvin Ingram, not mentioning that he was on the Dolphins. That took me by surprise.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also, do you have the stat? Only quarterbacks to be undefeated against Bill Belichick.
3-0,
Can you name the three?
I saw the stat.
Oh, you saw it. So
saw the
John
graphic
Elway's
for
4-0.
Yeah.
Our guy Jake Plummer's
Imagine if I just
3-0.
Whip that out. Like
Yeah, that would be sick. And Tua is 4-0
I
against
saw
Bill Belichick.
two is 4-0.
Yeah, so John Elway, Jake Plummer, Tua are the only three quarterbacks. Multiple wins and be undefeated, I think, would be the exact stat.
Yeah, because what about Nick Foles? He's got to be.
No, didn't they lose that season? Or no, I can't remember. Yeah, he might be 2-0.
Yeah.
He might be. I don't know if they played other seasons. But the Dolphins look awesome.
I have to bring that up.
I'm sorry.
Jake, like, The Dolphins look very
Nothing
good.
really went wrong. Like, this is a make or break year for Tua. Like, if Tua doesn't have a good year,
And
I'm asking
Tua looked
myself
good.
that question you guys were talking about earlier. Like,
Tua-
he's probably not the guy.
Tua
Gonna
and I
make
would
the
like
playoffs.
to address the fact that there was one clip going around about a Tua ball that fell like 20 yards short, and that was a tip pass.
Okay.
So just want to have that record show.
What would you guys have said if Mike McDaniel wore Supreme Air Force Ones and then got smoked?
Would have
Wait,
been bad.
did he get smoked?
No, he did. I'm saying it's a
But he won.
It's a swaggy move. No, I respect the move, but
I
I think
listen-
it's like one of those things where it's again, Tyreek Hill's right. Huge balls.
I
Yeah.
like Mike
Like
McDaniel.
if you
I,
lose that game wearing those shoes, it's like what,
Yeah.
I think
what are
having
you doing?
somebody that's that
But he's
different,
got
like
big
Mike
balls.
McDaniel is, I think that's really good. I think it's awesome to have like different characters in the sport. Like that's where we get 99% of our content is out of like these different types of personalities that we have across the league. If you're just like a carbon clone of somebody, if you're trying to do like the Bill Belichick disciple thing where they try to be Bill Belichick somewhere, that's not going to work. You have to be yourself. I think McDaniel's being himself. I don't know if it's going to work long term, but
Well,
it
it's
looked
the
awesome
adversity
today.
thing that Jules was saying, and like you can be the fun, happy guy that's like got a funny answer to everything, but if your team starts losing or hard times come about, like how do you respond to that? And
Yeah.
we don't know, but off to a great start for Mike McDaniel. Dolphins, in terms of like impressive performances, they're up there for week one. Like I was definitely impressed with how they played.
My one word that I wrote down at the top and I underlined was roughshod. They ran roughshod.
Yeah.
I've never used that expression before, but it seemed like it felt good in the moment. And Hank was like, "What does roughshod mean?" I was like, "You got your shit pushed in."
Yeah.
That's basically what it means.
Tua was 23 for 33, 270 and 1 TD, and that one pass was a deflected pass. So just want
Yeah,
to
look, it's not like OMG numbers. Where
No,
he's
but
gonna
he didn't
throw
make
5
he didn't make
touchdowns,
the
but yeah,
big error
exactly.
that we all thought
That's all
was
you can ask
coming.
for.
We all thought the game was going to basically turn on a big Tua mistake, and it never came. So he
Yeah.
played a clean
Consistent,
game. Yeah.
smart.
All right. Next up, Steelers Bengals. Steelers 23, Bengals 20. Zach Taylor now in the list of guys who didn't play any of his offensive players, any snaps in the preseason, and it showed. Their new offensive line, like the first half, the Bengals came out and it looked like they had not done anything together ever. Like they hadn't hung out together, anything. Joe Burrow had a very bad game, I would say.
What if his appendix was the part of his body that was making all the good decisions for him?
That would suck for him.
Yeah.
But I did think like Joe Burrow makes sense because he probably lost some weight. He had surgery. He missed preseason for a reason. The rest of the team, there's less of an excuse.
And even with all that, Joe Burrow still kind of won the game.
yeah,
Like the Bengals kind of won that game.
Right.
It was a tough ending where they blocked that extra point, or was it just a miss? It
was a blocked
It was
extra
blocked
point,
extra point at the end.
and then it was a bad snap on Evan McPherson's overtime field goal.
That's right. And then the Steelers also doinked one in overtime.
And so, all right. So one thing as a side. So our guy Stathole Sports, who now works for Barstool Sports, part-time blogger, but very funny. Go follow him on Twitter. He said that there was 10 fourth quarter missed kicks or extra points today, and I think that the kickers are just. If the kickers fuck up, we just have fun Sundays.
Yeah,
they
listen.
are the canary in the coal mine for like great Sundays.
And kickers fucking up, especially when it's Bengals kickers. Evan McPherson did this. Remember that game last
Against
year
the Packers.
Against the Packers? That might have been the most fun NFL Sunday of the regular season.
There was
last
12
year.
that Sunday.
And we all sync up, us kickers, like sorority houses on their periods, and we all fuck up at the same time. It has something to do with the moon, I'm sure about it. But yes, that does translate into a much more chaotic, especially when overtimes are involved.
Yeah.
You get like ties, and sometimes what's more exciting than ties is near ties.
Yeah.
Ties where it's like people snatch a victory from the jaws of a tie.
You're a breath away from. And this game should have been tied.
Yep.
And Zach Taylor made an egregious error where he was playing for the tie, punting,
Mm-hmm.
and he left 15 seconds. His punter left 15 seconds on the play clock. I don't know. That is a coaching thing.
So Zach Taylor explained that away. I'm glad you
Okay.
brought that up. No, he intentionally snapped it with 15 seconds left. He goes, "It's a new operation. We snapped there with 13 seconds. I understand that. Trust me, we'd rather do something different, but just trying to make sure the operation ran smoothly. It turned out that we sacrificed some seconds just to make sure that we were all on the same page there.
And
so it was a completely intentional snapping
Totally.
to make sure the operation went well.
It was just a prank.
It was because the operation needed to be on the same page, which
Right.
is why they snapped it.
And the 13 seconds ended up being very crucial as the Steelers needed it to win the game. and they did. And the Steelers, I actually feel bad for Steelers fans, even though Jersey Jerry, our friend who we watch all the games with, wished that my quarterback dies. But Steelers fans, there can't be a worse feeling than winning week 1 against your rival and then having your best player be out for the season, most likely.
Yeah, and
that sucks.
Your second best player taking the torch from Big Ben and walking out in a walking boot.
Yeah, so that's the story. TJ Watt possibly out for the season, looked like he tore a pec, and like he was a complete menace. The Steelers, they have 7 sacks.
He was a monster today.
7 sacks, and they forced 5 turnovers. It was insane. Like their defense was everywhere, and he's probably, if he's not the best defensive player in the league, he's second behind Aaron Donald, and he's the most important guy they have.
Yeah, I also thought that Mitch was better than Big Ben was last year, which is really all you can say.
Yeah, and that's the scary part about the TJ Watt injury. The Steelers scored 23 points, but their offense was not very good. Like I think they won the game with 13 first downs in an overtime game.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Their running game is stink.
Their running game continues to be stink.
Pretty bad stink.
Their offense did not look like it was. They had a couple like nice screen passes.
I respect what Mike Tomlin did on their very first drive when he challenged.
Yeah,
because he was just like, get these things out of my pocket. I'm so bad.
He lost the challenge 4 minutes into the season,
which is it's great because you don't have to have that weight hanging around later. I actually think if you look up the stats, it's probably between like Lovie Smith and Mike Tomlin for being the worst challengers of all time.
Yes. Also, I have a fun stat for you.
In 1986.
1986. Hank, that was yours.
You incepted me with that one, Hank.
1986.
Challenger?
Yeah.
Too soon.
Mitch is 4-0 against the AFC North.
Okay.
As a starter.
Let's go, Mitch.
Keep that. Let's remind ourselves of that. He plays in the AFC North now.
All Mitch has to do is just keep the Kenny Pickett questions away for another week. That's
for
all.
A minute.
That's all he has to hope for, because obviously they're going to go to Kenny at some point. But if they win football games, it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, well, we won, so I guess we're staying with Mitch.
And the Bengals are going to be fine. Like that was, like you said, they won that game. And it was crazy watching it being like, these are the same Bengals where they're just the horseshoe up their ass is going to continue because they should have won it in regulation if it wasn't for a blocked extra point. So I'm not really worried about the Bengals, but preseason might matter. Like Jules, I've now started taking mental notes. Jules is right. Like you go to Aaron Rodgers, you go to Russell Wilson tonight didn't take any preseason snaps. Like be careful. The Rams didn't. So preseason matters. It clearly was like the Bengals, they didn't basically show up until the second half, and it was a little too late.
You're talking me
first quarter.
Yeah, no, you're talking me in right now to betting on the Seahawks because
I think Seahawks first quarter.
Russell, Mr. I'm anointed as the leader of this team, haven't played a snap. I'm the captain versus iron sharpens iron with Drew Lock and Geno Smith going head to head with each other like a couple bull elephants.
Like the Rams, the Bengals, and the Packers offense all looked abysmal. The Bengals kind of picked it up towards the end.
Seahawks first quarter,
but they looked abysmal for the first half. Don't ask me because I'm the worst gambler on planet Earth.
I'm doing it.
I'm as cold as I couldn't be colder. But Seahawks first half game of my lifetime.
It's gonna be like DK going up against 3-4 people at the same time, which he's used to.
Yep.
And then it's gonna be like Drew Lock begging and pleading to not get sacked.
Yeah.
Elijah Penny probably getting injured by the third quarter.
Yep.
But still, that first quarter looks pretty juicy to me right now. Yeah.
Jake just gave me the look like when you would swear around your parents when you were like 12 years old.
What?
They're like, come on, are you serious?
What?
When I said Seahawks first quarter game of my lifetime, he's like, come on.
You can do quarter of the year.
It's
a
quarter of my lifetime. Yeah. No, that will be the quarter of my lifetime. So Geno Smith,
I'm pulling for you. Let's do it.
He played in preseason. He was in a QB battle. He had to play in preseason.
That's what I'm saying. It's survival of the fittest, and so he's going to wear his scars will make him stronger.
Yes. All right. So
if Zach he doesn't Taylor, get punched in the face by a teammate before then.
Yeah. Well, he's just got to pay his debts.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor, tough game. Both teams lost because Steelers lost TJ Watt.
In a way, both teams won though.
Yes, both teams won.
This should have been a fucking tie.
This should have been a tie.
This is stupid. I'm counting this as a tie.
Zach Taylor robbed us.
Can you make sure that as the season progresses, like I'm counting this, I'm going to count it as a win for the Steelers, but it should be at least a tie for the Bengals.
Correct.
As the season goes on.
Yes. All right, before we get to the next game, PFT, you got a quick word from one of our sponsors?
Yes, before we get to the next game, I want to talk to you about Coors Light. I drank maybe the bluest mountain Coors Light I've ever had in my life yesterday.
Hell yes.
It was sick. Shout out to the AWLs. They sent over just a bucket for me personally of 6 Coors Lights as I was getting ready to leave the bar yesterday. I was wrapping up a college football game, getting ready to leave. They said, not so fast, my friend. Here's 6 Coors Lights. They were icy blue, and there's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill. That's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans, they turn blue when your beer is cold. That way, you always know when it's time to chill. When you need to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment that's made to chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's literally made to chill. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Perfect for a moment to unwind. You can win exclusive chill merch, fun local experiences, even a trip to New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. Enter to win at CoorsLight.com/take. Sweepstakes ends 9/19/22. No purchase necessary. 50 USDC 21 plus only. Void where prohibited. For rules, visit CoorsLightSummer.com. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Okay, Commanders 28, Jaguars 22, the Carson Wentz roller coaster.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we
wasn't ready
watched
for it.
you on it.
I wasn't ready for it. I fucking hated the guy. I loved him. I hated him again. I hated myself for loving him.
Mm-hmm.
I loved myself for hating him. It was everything that I've seen other people experience Carson Wentz through the, I've seen it through their eyes before, but feeling it yourself is a different animal.
It was so perfect. It was such a perfect Carson Wentz game.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the play sheet. He started the game 11 for 16 with 2 touchdowns.
Fucking awesome.
Awesome. Then the next drives went in order. Punt, fumble. That wasn't his fumble. Punt, interception.
Now,
and then he finished with 2 huge touchdown drives. It was essentially all of Carson Wentz smashed into one game.
So I think the ultimate Carson Wentz experience is he is electric and fun to root for because he has to dig himself out of the holes that he creates for himself so frequently.
Yeah.
And he does have the ability to get you in some pretty fucking deep holes, and he's also got the rope necessary to get out of those holes occasionally.
He's like a terrible Chinese knockoff Brett Favre.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
I was also going to say like a Chilean miner.
Yep.
Where you're just stuck down there in your own shit for a long time, and then occasionally you get dragged out, and then Darren Ravel is like, wow, look how much they're paying him.
Yeah, look at those Oakleys.
Yeah,
sick.
Exactly. So Carson Wentz, not only did he throw 2 interceptions, he threw 2 interceptions on back-to-back plays.
Yep.
And at that point, I was like, okay, we're absolutely done here. I did forget it was 73 degrees.
Yep.
73 degrees, as Stathole Sports told us, that is Carson Wentz's best temperature. He's the best quarterback in the history of sports, playing in exactly 73-degree weather, which is what it was like in Raljon today. And, he got us out of it. The passes to Jahan Dotson were awesome. And Jahan Dotson is... I would put a future on him to get Rookie of the Year.
Your wide receivers are awesome.
Really good. We got 3
very good,
awesome receivers with McLaurin, John Dotson, and then Curtis Samuel, who's the rare guy that gets brought over by a former coach of his, brings him with him to town, and then spends the first year and a half completely injured. But your coach is like, no, trust me, when this guy's healthy, he'll be good. Now he's healthy, and he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And Antonio Gibson, I guess, remembered how to hold on to the football now.
Yeah.
So he's good. And I just found out we're going to get Brian Robinson back from being shot twice in the leg in week 5. So everything.
That's hard.
Yeah. He's missing as much time from getting shot twice as Dak Prescott is missing from accidentally high-fiving a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
That's hard.
It is hard.
That is that's hard.
I almost said something really stupid.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to say it?
If the Commanders win the Super Bowl, I'll get shot in my leg.
Okay. Awesome. I will shoot you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Perfect.
shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
I knew I should.
Yeah. No, you can't veto
Jake,
that.
you can't
He just said it.
You can't
You
veto.
want to get shot?
No,
I want a
you're not
Super
going to
Bowl.
win the Super Bowl.
If
This year,
happens,
It has to be this year.
he's gonna have the guns, and you're gonna be like, Jake, you should have done that veto.
No,
No,
he's
no.
going to win if he.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay, if
let's-
the Bears win a Super Bowl, I'll also get shot.
There
What
we go.
caliber?
Thank
What,
you.
wait.
Yeah, we got to
What
talk
caliber?
This year.
I'd say
What
like-
caliber?
Okay, 22?
In the leg.
I'm not letting you.
In the leg.
0.177.
When did you guys get so soft over there?
It's crazy.
I always
Hey,
We're
are you-
talking about
are you gonna
two
get shot?
teams. We're talking
if
about
the Patriots
Yeah?
Win the Super Bowl. I'll get fucking shot.
All right, let's go. Billy, Jets.
Max?
Jets win the Super Bowl.
And Jake has
Max
to do
shot.
it. Only if Jake
Max,
does it.
no, because his team might actually win
Jake,
the Super Bowl.
Dolphins win the Super Bowl. You get shot?
No,
Okay.
I'm soft.
All right. So there's
such a
no
pussy, Jake.
chance.
I know.
There's 0%
But I'm not
chance
just gonna say it.
that the Commanders or the Bears win the Super Bowl. And if
shoot me
they
in the
do,
ass.
I would be happy to get shot in the leg.
Like the fleshy part of the thigh.
just this year, though. Only this year. The
steroids.
I'll
road
do my ass.
This is a Sopranos episode.
Yeah.
And it worked out fine for that guy. He got all the street cred in the world.
I mean, if we're doing all this shit right now, I already have my pinky team, which I shouldn't do. It's
Yeah.
the Cardinals. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're not.
The Cardinals are not winning the
They're
Super Bowl.
definitely not.
That is my pinky team.
Oh my god.
I mean, BFT fucking.
They're definitely
He
not.
got me worked up there.
I did
He got
kind
me
of.
worked up.
I did kind of one up the pinky with the ass shot.
Yeah, but no, the Cardinals are my pinky team.
Let's do shot in the ass because then there's no
That's
major
fine.
No.
arteries.
The shot in the ass makes sense for the Commanders. Big Cat does have his pinky team.
And I also
Like-
will get shot in the ass if the Bears win the Super Bowl this year.
I'll let Jake shoot me with a bow and arrow.
What?
That sounds actually really dangerous.
Yeah,
Wait.
super dangerous.
Compound bow?
Wait, but then you have to pull it out.
You
Billy,
have
if
to
the
pull it
Jets
out.
win the Super Bowl, we get to light you on fire. Come on. Fireman Ed, he fell down.
Deal.
Yeah,
okay, all right,
Beebs,
Billy
you
on
get lit
fire.
on fire too. Okay,
Okay,
all
all
right,
right,
It's
cool.
basically
cool.
turning into Jackass.
No, it's not
No,
Jackass.
way more
We're-
dangerous,
It's
I
friend.
think.
Yeah, this is actually just a snuff film that's disguised as a sports podcast.
Should I take back my pinky team?
No,
right now?
no.
Okay, all right.
No,
Cardinals,
well,
Cardinals,
now to be fair, Big Cat.
I always
Usually
waited till
in the
week
past,
2.
it's week 2, and a team has to be on. Wait, who do the Cardinals play next
they
week?
play the Raiders.
Raiders next week, and is it
Maybe that's
is it a double extra point for Activision next weekend?
Yeah. So this week there was double XP.
Yeah, is it also next week?
don't
They
think so.
usually just drop it randomly.
Okay,
What is that?
it's you get more points for playing Warzone that weekend.
So okay, but maybe that's just the. You know what? That will be the Pinky Bowl.
Okay,
Whichever team loses
Yeah,
is my Pinky
that's good.
team,
I
'cause
like
they have
that.
to be 0-2.
Yep.
That's fair. Raiders Cardinals is the Pinky Bowl. The loser of that game is officially my Pinky.
and if anyone knows,
And I'm
a-
rooting for the Cardinals to lose.
If anyone-
because they're not winning the Super Bowl.
if anyone has a suggestion for a comfortable bullet to get shot in the leg with, please let me know.
.177 pellet gun.
That's a nice
Done.
one. Okay.
I'm up for the shot in the ass if the Bears win
I'm
the
a
Super
big
Bowl this year.
storyline guy.
Pellet gun doesn't count.
No, it's got to be a gun.
Yeah, like I want.
doing like serious.
Like I want
gun.
one where
You're
if
not
you
a
get
BB
caught
gun,
doing
dude.
it, you go to jail for attempted murder.
Correct. This is actually how we can get Billy off the podcast.
Yeah, Billy. No, but Billy would actually try to kill us.
That's true.
I'm a big storyline guy. The last 2 years in the Super Bowl, the team who plays in that stadium played in the Super Bowl.
And where's
Arizona.
where's the Super Bowl?
Arizona.
I don't give a fuck. They're not winning the Super Bowl. That
Bucs
team
in
sucks.
2020, Rams in 21.
All right. Well, I'll leave it up to whoever loses that game. Is Raiders or the Cardinals? That's officially.
I think
what
that's
it is.
fair.
Those are two teams that were have been
It's the
talked
inaugural
about,
Pinky Bowl. That's awesome.
and they've been talked about in Super Bowl fashion or whatever the fuck you want to call it. All right. Jaguars, Commanders. That got sidetracked for a second. The only other thing I had about this game.
I don't think it did. Like that's all. That's all completely relevant.
Yeah. No, I just couldn't remember what game we were on. The only other thing, the Jaguars. I don't think Trevor Lawrence sucks. There's like 4 or 5 times a game where he looks so confused that it looks like he's never played football.
So he might not completely suck, but he definitely makes throws that only a quarterback that kind of sucked would make. He's got flashes where occasionally he'll make an NFL throw, but then
Right.
he'll underthrow somebody by like 3 yards or 4 yards. That's like wide open, and sometimes he looks a little bit lost out there.
He
Now-
looks panicked.
Yeah.
Like he'll like turn around and he'll just be panicking, and you're like, hey, dude. It's like he almost looks like a dog wearing the snow boots where they're like trying to fucking. I don't know. There's something about it. I do not think he sucks, but I'm worried about the 4 or 5 times where I'm like, what is he doing right now?
I miss Urban Meyer. I'll just say it.
Yeah,
I miss
the
Urban.
Jaguars
I miss
are.
Urban. I don't think that a kicker would miss a 37-yarder if there was a possibility that he might get kicked by his head coach
Or a
afterwards.
finger up his butt.
Yeah.
Or a finger up his wife's butt. Yeah, that's true. That always hung out there. And the Jaguars, this is why I always preach making sure that your first-round draft picks get injured so then you can just delay the first-round draft pick nature of it. They had 3 current first-round draft picks on the field today with Etienne making his debut. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't have great stats, but he looked explosive. Trayvon Walker made the pick that was sick. He was all over the place. And then Devin Lloyd, who they also drafted in the first round this year, had like 11 tackles. So if I was running a team, I would Sam Hinkie kind of did it, but he has to do it all the way where I would just keep drafting, and every year I'd make every single first-round draft pick sit out until like 6 years accumulated them, and then have them all play at once.
Yeah.
And then they'd be Super Bowl.
I mean, Etienne, I think, is going to be an electric player this year. I think one thing I haven't really noticed until watching Carson Wentz as my guy about his game is that he is really, really top tier in the NFL. I mean, like elite level at flailing his body when he gets hit a little bit late in the pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's got his arms and legs going in every direction possible. He'll flip over like 180 degrees onto his side if you just so much as breathe on him. And there's some quarterbacks that are not good at that. Like Joe Burrow is one where I think Joe Burrow actually, he's almost too tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Where when he gets hit late, he's still fighting. And so he doesn't really do the flail helpless thing. So he doesn't get as many flags as other quarterbacks do. I think Carson Wentz is going to draw every possible flag on a late hit because like you touch him on the side of his helmet and he's going to act like JFK.
Yeah.
It's pretty good what he does.
And it's annoying when he does it. It's funny when Jameis does it.
Yes.
That's it. And Carson Wentz winking at the camera, just douche
swag
chills down your spine.
That was swag. That was swag.
And I wanted to call the cops.
That was
I
swag.
like, arrest this man.
No.
He's a pedophile.
No, you know what I saw that I go, you know what? That's him. That's him.
It was so
he yeeted that wink.
No, oh God. Everything that Carson Wentz does feels forced, including his throws into traffic.
Yeah.
Like he just does everything he does is forced.
Yeah, no, the wink was bad.
It was so bad.
But I have no choice but to actually say it's great.
Yeah.
And just ride with it.
Yeah. No, I understand what you have to do.
Yeah.
All right.
And then he did like the first down with just 2 fingers.
It was tough.
Oh man. America lubricated.
Let's
on
just
that
say
one.
this. I understand why everywhere Carson Wentz goes, everyone in the locker room hates him.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
I hate him. I do hate him.
I never met him, but I don't like him.
Don't get me wrong. I hate him.
Yeah.
But I think I also have to love the fact that I hate him.
You're on the roller coaster.
And shout out to LSU, their football account retweeted when I tweeted, I fucking hate Carson Wentz after his second consecutive interception. Whoever runs that account, I hope they don't get in trouble. But for a while, my replies were just filled with people like, what does this have to do with LSU football?
Yeah.
And it has everything to do with LSU football.
Yeah, of course.
Okay? Carson Wentz transcends any sort of personal brand. Everyone should fucking hate Carson Wentz.
Yes. Yeah. He's the one unifying thing in football.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Carson Wentz, his old team, Eagles 38, Lions 35. Max, you're gonna have to talk a little bit in this because I do want to hear from you. But this was, I don't know what, like the Lions, are the Lions just gonna be this team forever? Because they just started the season and they're the exact same team in that they aren't very good and they just keep fighting. I guess they still just need to like have a couple more drafts. But I saw the stat. The Lions have won.
Jake's getting dehydrated over there.
3 out of their last 18 games. They've covered 12 out of 18 of those.
Yeah, so here's
It's
the thing.
insane.
Here's the thing about the Lions. This Lions team is good enough to lose to any team in the NFL by 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean any team. I mean like they could lose to the Jaguars by 3 points. They could lose, on the other hand, to the Eagles or to the Buccaneers or to the Rams or to the Packers or to the Bills by 3 points. It would not surprise me. I think they would lose. They should lose to every team by exactly 3 points, no give or take on that one. But they are going to be – this is a much better version of the Lions than we've seen in the past.
Right.
Where they're not ever going to be sad and blown out by somebody, I don't think. Even when they do get blown out, they'll score a couple late touchdowns and make it look like less of a blowout than it really was.
But so that's, I think the issue with today was Dan Campbell has to adjust to the fact that maybe his team's a little bit better than last year because the onside kick was a last year move that they didn't need to do this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Eagles were kind of doing whatever they wanted on the ground and like throwing, AJ Brown had like 150 yards, but Dan Campbell onside kick in the third quarter when the Lions cut it to a 10-point game, so it was 31-21. He onside kicked. They didn't get it. The Eagles scored a touchdown 2 minutes later, 38-21. The Eagles win with 38 points. Mm-hmm. And he was asked after, he's like, yeah, we wanted the ball back. I get that. That makes sense, Dan Campbell. But like, this isn't, you shouldn't treat, the Lions can't treat every game like they are an FCS team trying to win in the big house.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get it. I think that sometimes Dan has these phases that he gets into where or moments in time where he's like, it's time to gamble if you want to win this game.
Right.
And that's not always the smart move.
They might
to
be
make.
better than that. They might need the gamble. I mean, I think they were going to lose anyway because, it felt like the Eagles were comfortably, in control.
He gets these moments that he finds himself in where he's like, now's the time where I have to make a winning decision and get aggressive with it. But he doesn't understand that that's not necessarily how you actually end up winning games.
Yeah, he's like, he gets to a fork in the road at every game. He's like, now's the time to be Man Campbell.
Yeah.
Like, do it.
Last year they went for it on fourth down.
I kind of respect it now that I'm talking about it. Like, that's an inner gambler of me. Like, Dan Campbell, I am Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is me.
So
game of the year, week 2.
But you also, like, no disrespect, you lost a lot of games this week.
Right, I know.
So like Dan Campbell,
I know we're the same
lost
guy.
this game.
He lost a lot of games too.
So maybe he needs to just focus a little bit more on winning activities.
We should just switch roles. Freaky Friday. I'll coach the Lions. He can just gamble with my money.
He also needs to remember that he has statistically the best punter in the history of the NFL on his team.
Yeah.
People don't talk about Jack Fox enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to respect Jack Fox.
I actually think I talk about Jack Fox perfect amount.
I don't think we've discussed him one bit.
What I just said.
But he has the highest net punting average and gross punting average in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
For people that qualify with enough punts. So that's all we will ever say about Jack Fox on this program.
Yeah, that was enough Jack Fox.
But we respect him.
Yeah. So if anyone ever asks, why don't you talk about Jack Fox, just point them to September 12th, 45 minutes into the podcast.
The Jack Fox Appreciation Podcast.
And the moment is over.
Yeah. So Max, your Eagles look pretty good.
I have a question about Sirianni.
Okay.
So Sirianni, after the game, he was like whooping it up with the Eagles. Actually, there's like 30 seconds left. He's whooping it up with the Eagles fans sitting front row. It was very like college football coach, like we're going to the Rose Bowl feel to it. It's week 1 against the Lions. What was up with that?
I mean, Sirianni has done like a lot of very cringy things since he's gotten here. So it's like I'm not really surprised by anything that he does anymore. That's just who he is.
It felt like a lot for week 1.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything he does is a lot.
And he went to the playoffs last year. It's not like his first ever win.
Yeah. But like I said, nothing surprised me with him as far as like pandering to the fans because that's just all he does. Just
right.
He's just pander. But he's shown to be a pretty good coach. So at this point, if he keeps winning games, then I don't really give a fuck about that.
What about the defense? 35 points is a lot of points.
Started off slow. Came back and had
Can't stop Jared though.
Yeah, that's true. All right, yeah, no, that's fine. You don't even have to say anything because it was Jared Goff. He's fucking awesome. He went to a Super Bowl.
I think that Dan Campbell is going to have a problem because he's so emotional of a guy. Like leading into every single week, he's got to just wear his heart on his sleeve the entire week. And then when you get to game day, he's super emotional. Yeah. And then by that point, you're kind of drained. Maybe as a team, he needs to figure out a way to just like turn his entire what's a part of your brain that controls your emotions. He needs to turn into like a psychopath during the week that doesn't have emotions. Yeah. And then just like finally let things out on Sunday because at some point you just like tune out the over the top like passion that anybody has. I don't think that you can you can't get it up for that long, that consistently when it comes to somebody's emotions. Eventually it has to die down.
Right. Yeah, you have to kind of step on the gas and then let up and just let your team the ebbs and flows. Yeah. I think the Lions are friskier than last year so that Dan Campbell doesn't have to onside kick in the third quarters. And the Eagles, AJ Brown is awesome. I am a little worried about that's a weird defensive performance to start, especially considering it's been a lot of talk about their defense. But one last thing with the Eagles, Nick Sirianni did say that he thought Jalen Hurts played an outstanding game and he had control of it from start to finish. And while he did have a good game and he didn't make any mistakes, he was 18 for 32. He wasn't incredible. So I don't know where the ceiling that he expects for Jalen Hurts.
18 for 32 is pretty good though. Jalen Hurts a couple years ago, when he was coming into the NFL, it was very much a question whether or not he could start a game in the NFL.
No, so I guess the question is does
18 for 32 is not that good.
It's okay,
it's not bad,
but that was my point. Is that's okay for Jalen Hurts, but where Jalen Hurts, if he's phenomenal, I think the Eagles team can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
but he was talking like he was phenomenal. I don't know where that line goes.
Right. He was not phenomenal today, but 18 for 32 for Jalen Hurts.
And he also had 90 yards rushing.
I was going to say, if he's doing
rushing.
stuff with his legs, then yes, that can be a phenomenal performance. Like Jalen Hurts is not going to be a guy that throws like 75% completion percentage.
No, but he didn't have any touchdown passes. He didn't make any big mistakes, and I do think that Sirianni deserves credit for figuring out a way to like get the most out of him, especially running the football.
Yeah. So next week they've got the Commanders at home. Guess whose spread is it anyways?
Whose line is it anyways? What we're doing this year? It's sponsored. What's it sponsored by?
It's sponsored by Drew Carey.
Drew Carey. Okay.
They have the Vikings on Monday Night Football next
Oh,
week.
okay. So you're hypothetical. You've been a week off with every football game.
I have.
Do you know what the date is? Because you were talking up your JMU versus App State game next week.
Well, that is their next game that they have on the schedule.
So does the Commanders have a week 2 bye? We're missing.
Wait, no, they are playing next Sunday.
Oh no!
Retract that, Max.
I'm seeing Vikings at Eagles Monday, September 19th.
Oh no!
I'm seeing
what the fuck are you guys looking?
I'm seeing
at?
Commanders.
What are you guys looking
No, I'm
at?
talking about the Lions. I was saying the Lions game.
Oh,
I was saying the Lions are hosting the Commanders next week.
True.
Did anyone else think that he was talking about the
I
Eagles?
thought you were talking about the Eagles because
Yeah.
we were talking about the Eagles.
I was talking about the Commanders. I don't think I said the Eagle. I think I said
no, but we were talking about
the
Nick
Lions.
Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, and you're like, so the Commanders are playing. We'll have to play that back. I don't know if you said Eagles.
I'm not sure.
You never know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Guess whose spread is it
listeners
anyway?
will.
All right,
Commanders at
sorry,
Lions.
I won't look. Commanders at Lions.
I'd like to apologize to you, Max. Would you like to apologize to me?
I would also like to
Double
apologize.
apology.
I'm gonna say Commanders minus 1.5.
Lions by 1. Lions
Wow.
are favored next week.
Okay.
Whoa.
Could they get the big win?
I think it's going to be Commanders win by 3 points.
Okay.
I think the Lions are just going to lose by 3 points
to everyone.
All
season long. All right, next up, Bears are also 1-0. Bears 19, Niners 10.
Welcome to the club.
Feels good. Crazy weather game. Crazy to have that weather game this early in the year. The field looked like shit. The guys sliding in the end zone was awesome. Those pictures were sick.
Yep.
I was very happy. I'm happy. I don't think the Bears are going to be great. I know they're not going to be great, but I'm happy because I went into this season being like they're going to be frisky, and beating a team like the Niners as 7-point underdogs is a very frisky move.
It was nice of our friend Greg Kittle to sit out this week.
Yeah,
but
and Elijah Mitchell to get hurt again.
R.I.P. to Soldier Field.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a record time for how quickly it gets damaged for the rest of the season.
It's
bad. It's
really,
be bad.
really bad. And I was just, I don't know. I didn't think that was actually the best part about that game. Well, there's two parts that I loved. Is that one, I was having all first half is Justin Fields, like, what's going on? He made some big plays in the second half, especially when he threw the Dante Pettis touchdown where he like rolled out of the pocket, hit him down the sideline when he got free. And then 2, Matt Eberflus, like Matt Nagy loses that game 20-0. And I don't want to compare him to the last guy, but the Bears came out and they actually fought back and they played like disciplined defense. They had no penalties in the second half. They did the right things, forced some turnovers. I was very happy. They're frisky.
On the other side of the ball, I feel like we might get started with the Jimmy G talk sooner rather than later because Trey Lance did not look good at all today.
That game can't be decided though because of weather.
Right,
like, weather
right.
was so crazy.
Right, the weather was bad, but also Trey Lance made some pretty bad plays.
Yeah, he did.
He looked in way over his head.
The Eddie Jackson pick.
But that's the dangers that you're going to have when you re-sign Jimmy G to that new structured contract. And you just have him kind of like lurking over your young quarterback's shoulder. Like that conversation is going to happen if you go on the road and lose to the Bears in like a disgusting manner week 1. And obviously the Bears did good things. Like Justin Fields did look good.
No, his second half was he was abysmal in the first half. He was 3 for 9, 19 yards and an interception. That was when I was like, this is going to be a way longer season than I thought. And then he made like Justin Fields he did the thing that he did at Ohio State where it's like, hey, I'm going to use my feet to open up the pass, not just, tuck it and run. Like he's extending the play to then make the big play, not I'm going to just try to run the ball at first sight of issues.
The thing that I saw that was a little bit different about Justin Fields this year was that he didn't look panicked all the time.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like the game definitely slowed down for him a little bit.
Don't say that. That's trigger.
Why?
Because he said that last year in the preseason.
Oh, well,
He's like, the game's super slow for me, and then he
I think it slowed down. Like if you watched him
times.
last year, he looked terrified.
Yeah.
He looked like he was thinking
Well, that
through
Browns game
everything
just
that he was
ended
doing.
everything,
Yeah, he was thinking every single step that he made, every time he would like turn his head. It was like there was a smaller Justin Fields inside of Justin Fields moving him around like a robot. In this game today, it looked like he was having fun playing football, like a normal human being should.
Yes.
At this level. So he looked good. Also, Debo is just still fucking amazing.
He's awesome.
Debo, at some point, Kyle Shanahan should have just been like, hey, let's just give the ball to Debo every play and tell him to run into somebody's face because it's awesome when he does that.
And like, hey, Debo, I'm sorry that we ever had any contract issues. You should have had everything. But I'm not going to take too much away from the fact, like, both Trey Lance and Justin Fields, those conditions were horrendous. It is funny because there's obviously all the talk about them moving to Arlington Heights and getting a dome, and this was score one for bear weather. Mm-hmm. Like the Bears don't win this game probably if we don't have that weather and shit just doesn't fall apart and Trey Lance looks like shit in the second half.
Yeah, Kurt Warner hated this game.
But I am happy. I'm happy. I don't have any complaints. Matt Eberflus looks like like I said before, I think I said it a couple weeks ago, like looks like they're doing the little things that make them seem like a competent team.
Yep.
And if you do the little things, you can be frisky even though you don't have great talent. You can beat a team any given Sunday.
Yeah.
So
congratulations on being 1-0.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
There's nothing to be ashamed of, no matter who you are. If your team goes 1-0, great job.
Yeah. 0-1 teams, different story. Also, one last stat. 30 teams since 1999 have won a game while missing 2 extra points or more. The Bucs in 2020 did that. So they're one of the teams. And the Bears did that today.
Incredible.
So, Super Bowl.
They missed 2 extra points today?
Yeah, Cairo Santos missed 2 extra. I mean, he couldn't plant. Like, it was.
Oh, I saw that.
They got
a penalty for drying off the field. They brought like a little hand towel out to dry down the spot.
It was crazy. And Eddie Jackson might be back. So, yeah, everything. No complaints from me. Happy. Trey Lance is definitely looking over his shoulder.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention it earlier when we were talking about the Dolphins game. The row of cars that just burned down.
Oh, yeah.
As the game went on. So somebody like left a hot grill on next to some cars, and then you come out and you see like your car has just been lit on fire and it's completely burned out.
Was it a man cooking hot dogs?
Someone had left a grill on
inside
the trunk of a car.
Was somebody cooking like a slab of ribs at a very high temperature? Very high temperature?
Oh.
Imagine if Frank started that whole fire. It's the funniest thing ever.
It's not unfathomable.
It's possible. It wasn't Frank, but if it were, I wouldn't be like,
Do we
oh my
know
God.
that?
No, it wasn't Frank.
We don't know
I don't
that
think
it
he has
was.
a car down there.
Yes, he does.
Does with Doug's?
Yeah,
I don't think he has a grill down there.
They did. Well, I'm just saying it's a non-zero chance that Frank Fleming burned up an entire row of cars.
If it came out that it was him, I was just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think there's a jury in the world that wouldn't convict him either.
No.
All right.
Him doing the waddle was so great. God.
What would Frank Fleming call himself if he was like a fan of Frank Fleming and found out that he burned down a row of cars?
What do you mean?
Like
what pun?
Frank Flaming.
Yeah. He'd be like, he did it again.
Frank Flaming.
Yeah.
Another car burned down.
another fire in the parking lot.
By Frank Flaming.
He did it again. All right. Saints Falcons. So no, let me do a quick ad and then we'll do Saints Falcons. DAZN this weekend. I'll be in Vegas. It's fight season on DAZN pay-per-view as Canelo Alvarez puts his WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, and the Ring Super Middleweight titles on the line when he takes on Triple G. Bad blood has been building between the fighters after Canelo's win in their last bout. This is the trilogy, and the long-awaited trilogy fight will take place at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on Saturday, September 17th. I will be there. Dave, Robbie, Caleb, Roan, we're all going to be on the call. You can get the pay-per-view and listen to me live from Las Vegas at DAZN.com. Stream the fight live only on DAZN. Download the DAZN app or visit DAZN.com. Again, I will be there live calling the fight. DAZN.com, DAZN.com. Check it out, and we will see everyone on Saturday night. This Saturday night. What's the date? September 17th. DAZN.com for Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G Trilogy. Okay, Saints-Falcons. Jameis, 16-point comeback in the fourth quarter. I fucking love him. He said he has pain everywhere because he went in the tent at some point. He's the opposite of Jerry Jones. He's basically doing hockey injuries, pain everywhere. It was Jameis being back makes me so happy, and this was just the same old Falcons.
Yeah, Jameis's quote after the game, they asked him, "Your heart rate come down yet?" He goes, "My heart rate was smooth the whole way."
Love it.
I believe it. He's got the guts of a cat burglar. Jameis Winston is
crab burglar.
He's so a crab burglar. Jameis Winston is so fun, and I think he's really like come out of his shell too. That's another crab pun, but he's really come out of his shell a little bit the last 6-8 months since he's been training this offseason. His podcast is legitimately hilarious.
Yeah,
he is. If Jameis Winston, there are very few athletes that I would say could step behind a mic right now and immediately take us out. I think if Jameis Winston did like a full-time NFL podcast, we're fucked.
I want him on the show.
We might as well hang it up because
he needs to come on the show.
He's laugh out loud funny. And I'm talking like unintentionally and intentionally as well. But
he's got it both.
He's got it both. He's got everything going on. Michael Thomas is back today, officially back.
Crazy. He had a huge game.
If you had asked me before the season, like, is Michael Thomas going to play a snap? I'd say probably not, and probably still figure out a way to get paid.
Yeah,
he's happy. He's out there playing. Chris Olave made a couple nice catches.
Jarvis Landry,
awesome player.
Yeah,
people forget
he made the 40-yard catch down the sideline. Jameis got flagged for an intentional grounding. That was what was the exact penalty? Was it? Well, I know exactly what he did.
It looked like a spike or something.
Yeah, so it was intentional grounding on a spike. And do you know why that happened? It actually is totally understandable why Jameis did that. He thought Jarvis Landry had gone out or had been in bounds. He had actually gone out of bounds. I didn't realize if you spike on a dead clock, that's intentional grounding.
Okay, I didn't know that
was what happened.
Okay.
So the clock wasn't moving. He spiked it, intentional grounding.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that was a crazy pass. I don't know why the Saints, as soon as they started running tempo, they erased that lead. Like they were down 16 points I think it was 16 in the fourth quarter, right?
I think it was 17.
In the fourth quarter.
Maybe 16.
And they went tempo, and Jameis started slinging it, and guys started making plays, and the Falcons are the Falcons. So this is now since 2020, there have been 3 times that the Falcons have blown a 15-plus point lead. In the entire rest of the NFL, there's only 2 other times that's happened.
Yeah, I want to create
that's brutal.
Some sort of computer betting program that whenever the win probability hits 90% for the Falcons, you take the live bet on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it would be enormously profitable.
And I don't want to shit on the Falcons totally because
I like Marcus Mariota.
Well, I was going to say Marcus Mariota, competent. Cordell Patterson, still awesome. Had like 130 yards, both rushing and receiving. And our friend Arthur Smith actually said, he gave us permission to bury them. So we could do that if we wanted to. He said, you guys wrote our obituary back in May. You'll continue to write our obituary. Who cares? So if he doesn't care, they're dead. They stink.
They're not good.
I'm just giving this for him so he can motivate himself.
I'm
rooting for Arthur Smith.
We're just giving bulletin board material. Like, you really thought that like Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback was going to be the answer this year? Like you're going to be a good team?
Hey, Arthur, what point lead would you say is safe?
Like
24?
Arthur, how many times can you force the ball to Kyle Pitts in a game and expect it to turn out well? Hey, Arthur, can you even name 3 players in your defense?
Yeah. No.
We're just saying this to get Arthur Smith motivated.
Because you told us to write your obituary.
Yeah.
Hey, Arthur, why don't you go to London right now and just lay down next to Lizzie because you're dead?
Hey, Arthur, have you ever seen a more scared kicker than Younghoe Koo today?
Oh, dude, we got to talk about Marcus Lattimore. Could have been the worst penalty of all time. For people who didn't watch the game was over, and Marcus Lattimore just body slammed a Falcon player, and they just like, oh, that's 15 yards. Now the Falcons are close enough to attempt it was like a 65-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But they were literally the game was over. They were on their own 40, and he just body slams the guy after the play, and they're like, hey, 15 yards, Youngway, go give it a shot.
So what are the rules on that? How long does the game have to be over for a body slam to not extend the play by one or the game by one on time down?
I think there might have been a second left, but even if not,
I think it was at 0, but like the ball had just like landed on the ground.
Right.
And so it's one of those gray areas where it's like it felt like it was part of the play, so we're going to throw a flag on the play. But if it's in like the handshake line right afterwards, you can't throw a flag on that and bring the team back out, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That would have been
Roger Ball. You can do anything.
That would have been one of the like all-time Falcons things by the Saints.
Right. Yeah, I was losing my mind. It's like I think they just blew the game.
They Falcons did.
He just threw them there. So yeah, the Saints. They're also. I like how the Saints feel like they take rivalries, like they respect rivalries by disrespecting the other team. Like there was a player on the Saints who had the Falcons flag. He brought it to his press conference. They were like clowning him after. I feel like the Saints always do this with whether it be the Bucs, the Panthers, or like the Saints respect rivalries by being super disrespectful to their rivals.
Yeah.
And then therefore enhancing the rivalry.
I think it's mostly against the Falcons too.
Yeah.
Like those are two teams that like actually hate each other.
They hate
and
each
the
other.
fan bases legitimately hate each other.
Correct.
I
like it though.
It's to the point where there were some like Katrina charities that got set up back in like 2005, and even some Falcons fans were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
Like
as a Falcons fan,
yeah,
no.
yeah, they'll take it so seriously where
Yeah.
it's like, "No, I'm not even going to get involved in that." Those are Saints fans.
Yeah, right.
You know, like which is fucked up, but also part of what makes the rivalry better down the line. Like I get it.
Yeah, and I like that the Saints, like, this is week 1.
Yeah.
We have so many games to go, and they're like, no, fuck this. We're going to run it up on them. Mm-hmm. I mean, but the Falcons, goddamn it. Again, in the last 2 seasons, there have been 5 total times that a team has blown a 15-point plus lead. 3 out of 5 of them have been the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
It's
on brand.
It's so on brand. And they're dead. Arthur Smith, you're dead.
He's dead, and your name's Arthur, which is kind of a beta name anyways.
King Arthur.
But again, we're just doing this to give you that bulletin board.
Correct. You're dead.
Your owner,
Arthur.
Your owner definitely is thinking some thoughts right now. Just motivation.
Arthur, because you're dead, I wouldn't do open casket with your chin or lack thereof. There you go. So that's it. We buried Hank didn't like that.
No, that was is that over the
Hank
line?
was like, you motherfucker. We don't make chin jokes. We actually like Arthur Smith a lot, and we want the Falcons to do well. But you told us to bury you, so we had to bury you.
If you asked Young Wei Koo to light you on fire, he'd probably miss with a match.
Yeah,
so
he
maybe
definitely would.
cremation is not in the cards either.
All right, Browns Panthers, the Baker revenge game. Oh no, sorry, Ravens Jets. The game that we didn't see any highlights from.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed with this one because I was hoping for a couple good Flacco highlights. All we got was
a pick,
which the tight end ran the wrong route.
Oh, okay.
On the pick, I went back, I watched the tape. They ran the stick instead of the out, and Joe Flacco put the ball where it should have been.
Let me ask you.
And we talked about what a veteran ball he throws, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were saying about Joe Flacco, veteran ball. Turns out that translates to the defense too.
Well,
they can catch it very easily.
Let me ask you a question. He does throw a veteran ball. Mm-hmm. If you were the Jets going into this game, how many veteran balls would you want Flacco to throw to win the game?
I would want like attempted veteran balls.
Yeah, attempted veteran balls.
I would want him to throw 28 veteran balls.
Oh, you were close. He attempted 59 veteran balls.
That's a lot of veteran balls.
59 veteran balls.
Yeah, so a couple of those balls are going to end up in veteran hands.
I was looking through the box scores, like he threw 59 passes. Like that couldn't have been part of the game plan.
He's got to be so sore right now.
So sore.
How old is he? Like 40?
That's so many pass attempts for Joe Flacco at his age.
I feel bad for Joe Flacco, honestly.
He actually ended up having 300 yards. He had 307 yards. He went 37 for 59. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
I mean, that's the lead right there. Joe Flacco completes 37 veteran balls.
Yeah. On 59 veteran pass attempts. Billy. So this game literally was like never on red zone because Lamar was just throwing deep bombs. Like Lamar, the surprising part of this game was the Ravens weren't able to run the ball and Lamar had to do it with his arm and he did it. But you watched the entire game, so tell us.
It was kind of like the first game last season. The defense kind of looked good. It's just the offense couldn't get anything going, and it just kind of stacked up.
With a hitting?
they were hitting, gangrene tackles.
Yeah.
They always bring the heat, but they underutilized Braxton Berrios. There wasn't much screen game. They were going downfield with it, but I think there was a lot more they could do to utilize their weapons. And Flacco did what he could, but just could never get it together.
Okay, so and now here that was actually a very good recap from the Jets side. Here is Billy's real recap. As I walked by him around like 5 o'clock, I was like, "Ooh, the Jets stink again," and he just goes, I think we're going to beat Hank and the Patriots. So that's where he's at. Okay. That's where
if we could just beat the Patriots.
Yeah, that was where he's already at that point where it's like, we just got to win one of these two games. And
like I said, you're going to the playoffs week 1 last year.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You can dream.
So
you can only be optimistic.
No, you have to dream.
How many more games of Flacco do you get?
If they beat the Patriots, can I shoot you in the leg?
If the Jets win the Super Bowl,
Billy,
you
as your lawyer, I strongly advise that you accept this.
How about if the Jets beat the Patriots? If the Jets sweep the Patriots this year, you get to shoot them with like a BB gun.
Okay, I'll do BB gun.
Yeah, that's fair.
In the ass.
Yeah, so you got to sweep them.
Sweep. Yep.
All right. But if the
a Red Rider.
That's reverse. It should be the other way around.
No, Billy's saying he'll take the pain.
No, I know, but
Billy's
if the
saying
Jets sweep the Patriots,
we should shoot Hank.
Get to shoot Hank.
We'll do a Daisy Red Rider.
But Billy's doing like this is his offer to the gods.
Yeah, right.
He's like, if you favor me with 2 wins, then I will take a shot.
I mean, sweeping the Jets, like that's expected.
Yeah.
There is no offer. I don't need to talk to God about
You should
anything.
get to shoot Billy in the ass either way. There's a sweep either way.
Do you think you'll beat the Jets both times?
Yes.
All right, so Billy's expectations have raised a little, and yours have not changed. Like, you haven't lowered yourself to Billy yet.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets.
Well, the thing is, Flacco in the driver's seat now, I think they are going to improve. And that
59
offensive
attempts.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
a lot of reps.
When you just say like Flacco in the driver's seat, it does sound like he's got it all under control. Just
it is a minivan, right?
Yeah, it's a minivan.
With like 7 kids in the back.
Did you see that clip of him talking
Flacco
about
doesn't
how
want to be playing.
No, he does not.
He's like, I signed up to be a backup.
Dude, did he change his number to 19? He doesn't want to play.
Yeah, no, there's a clip of him talking about how his kids think he
19.
sucks.
Yeah. He's been
like,
number 5 his entire career.
Right.
When you end up taking a secondary number that's over 10 digits away from your primary number that you've been your entire career, that's just like, I'm here to get paid.
It's a cry for help. It's like the what would you tweet if you were kidnapped? Joe Flacco, what would your number be if you were kidnapped? 19.
Yeah, no, he would
Someone save me.
He doesn't want to be out there playing.
No. He wants to be a backup and not have to do anything.
Yeah.
Which I respect.
He didn't look awful today though.
59 attempts.
He looked okay. He looked about what you'd expect for Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact, which I didn't realize. Do you remember the Ravens lost their last 6 games last year?
I forgot about that because they won all their preseason games.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this was technically, they broke their second longest losing streak as a franchise.
Well, Lamar had an ankle issue.
Yeah, it was Huntley. Yeah.
at the end of last year, and also butt issues that lingered for a while. So his butt looked good today.
But that's a testament to the Ravens that they lost their last 6 games, obviously because Lamar was out. But I still think they're a very good team. And Lamar being able to, like, when Lamar can win from the pocket throwing deep, that's scary. Yeah, that's very scary.
I mean, Lamar is basically playing for ginormous amounts of money right now. Like every single game.
Imagine if he gets fucking franchise tagged. That's what they said they'd do.
He probably will get franchise tagged, and then he might end up in a position where he gets franchise tagged a second time. And then I think I was reading that
would be so disrespectful.
If they do
to him,
that's what they did to Kirk Cousins.
But
that's the Cousins model.
Yeah. Lamar's better than Kirk.
Yeah, but
Lamar won an MVP.
Kirk Cousins gets paid like Lamar Jackson should be getting paid right now. So it wouldn't be like there's a world where Lamar Jackson does get 2 consecutive franchise tags. And then I was reading, I think Florio was talking about how there's a possibility that they could tag him in a different way a third time, but that year would be like $55 million guaranteed
so sick.
For 1 year. That would be an awesome
be
paycheck
so
to get.
But that would be it's rare that I would say, like, it's obviously just a business and this is how all NFL contracts work. But if they franchise Lamar Jackson, I'd be like, that is a slap in your face.
Do you think that in the post-game handshake, Lamar was like, hey, Joe, you're a real motherfucker because you stole that money from the Baltimore Ravens on your guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And now they are afraid to pay me that because they don't want a repeat of what happened to
They're
you.
deathly afraid. They basically told me that I have to win a Super Bowl if I want to get paid.
Yeah. And even still, look at what happened last time.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I thought, I watched a couple highlights afterwards because it was crazy. Do you remember like more than 4 plays from this game?
No.
They never showed
Lamar
it
had
on,
a sick drop in the bucket pass.
Yeah, no, he had a couple. I watched a couple of the highlights and it was like, damn, Lamar was kind of slinging it.
It was not on the Red Zone channel today.
No, it was just never on the Red Zone channel.
Fireman Ed fell down.
Yeah, that was bad. Fireman Ed, if you're an adult and it makes news that you fell down, you're about to die.
You shouldn't be walking anymore.
Yeah, no, that's like that because that really is just they're implying like he fell down,
But he's okay.
He didn't break his hip this time.
Yeah.
but it's coming.
He fell down. He's all right. He's expected to fully recover.
Right, like
from
a fall
falling
down.
Yeah.
I fall down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not news.
Yeah. So, but he's fine, right? He continued on.
Yeah.
Why did the Jets just straight up accept Fireman Ed's return to the franchise?
It's the weirdest
If you
thing
hang
ever.
up your whatever it was that he had as a fan, his hat,
No,
a fireman hat.
He said people were being mean.
No, there's fans like trying to assault him.
Yeah.
It's kind of fair.
When really they just had to wait it out because
Yeah.
he'd assault himself by falling down.
Yeah.
I feel like Fireman Ed, I don't want to victim blame, but I'm pretty sure that he picked his fair share of fights too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wasn't
you
there.
know what?
I just don't know. I don't understand how a super fan. It takes a lot for me for a super fan to renounce their fandom and then to come back in a couple years.
Well, Detroit Don and Superfan kind of did that.
Yeah, but if you're a Lions fan, that's different.
Yeah, but they didn't fully do it, but they were very disgusted. I think what you're trying to do right now is an impossible task. You're trying to get in the mind of a superfan.
Yeah.
They are just a special creature that should be left alone and looked at and, kind of applauded in our
Oh,
society.
I agree. I'm wondering, as the rest of the fan base goes,
Right.
do you accept Fireman Ed's return?
I think every fan base has a super fan that you're just like, that's our crazy uncle.
Like X
Like he's
Factor.
always part of it. Yeah, he's always part of the family. He's gonna do weird shit.
Remember X
He might
Factor?
get arrested.
X Factor's definitely in prison.
I'm checking.
Yeah, he's
it.
done-
I'm checking in.
No,
on that.
someone showed me he was doing a podcast.
Yeah, from jail. It's
Yeah.
like it starts out like cereal.
Yeah,
Will
but
you
the-
accept this collect call?
Okay,
X
so
Factor.
he's retired.
X Factor.
Yeah, because he's
Right, he'll be back.
The quote was, "I was becoming a monster."
Yeah. Right. No, he'll be back. He wants that monster. He's gonna be like, I miss the monster. But that's what superfans do. They whatever a superfan does, retire, change their look, anything like that, you just gotta be like, they're superfans.
Listen, I love super fans. I love all of them. I'm just curious, as a fellow fan of that team, if you're a Jets fan,
Yeah.
and Ed comes crawling back,
It's a crazy uncle.
Like, what do you do? Does everybody just let him back in? Okay, you're welcome here.
Yeah.
Once a Jets fan, always a Jets fan.
He does the JETS, and then it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all back together. Okay. So Jets over under wins, Billy.
I'm still going with 6.5. I think they can pull it out.
Okay, so they're
So
gonna
you're saying
what
what,
was
over
it?
or
Yeah.
under 6.5?
Over.
over. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you just said 6.5 wins. So tie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. 6
They'll get a
wins
tie.
and a tie.
I'll count that.
A push against the
6-10
other
and 1.
team, which
Yeah,
is a tie.
6-10 and 1. Okay. Browns Panthers, the Baker revenge game that actually ended up being a fun game. It looked Baker. We talked about Carson Wentz trying too hard. Baker was trying way too hard at the beginning of the game. He's like, I'm going to score. I'm going to get a 50-point touchdown on the first play. And he sucked to start the game.
I was thinking that Baker was trying so hard because he was just looking forward to the opportunity to talk shit after the game.
Correct.
Like he wants to get to a point where he's able to talk that shit after
Right.
the game. And then after the game, they asked him about it, and he said he's just going to flush it. That's his strategy. We're just going to flush it and move forward. He's going to turn the page on it. I don't know why everybody made it such a big deal of the game. That's what he said. But since the press and media did their thing, he's just going to ignore that and move on because Baker Mayfield definitely was not the one that made it a thing.
Correct.
And definitely, had he won, would have said this exact same thing about just moving on from it.
He also said it's 16 more games and the Super Bowl's in February. So he knows the schedule.
Yep.
So that's good. He knows when the Super Bowl is being played.
He probably has plans.
Yes.
Probably has sick parties
Yes,
going
he's
to.
probably going to Mexico. The Browns, though, first time they win week 1 since 2004. Incredible. Congrats to the Browns. I was thinking about it, like what was happening in 2004. PFT and I were sophomores in college.
Yeah.
Billy was 5 years old. The crazy one, you want the wild one, Jake? Calvin Johnson was starting his freshman year at Georgia Tech, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's how long it's been since the Browns have won week 1 of the NFL season.
Larry Fitzgerald was still...
He's not retired.
He was in college.
Is he retired?
He's going to be a senator.
He just never retired.
He's just waiting for some senator to die so he can run a special election right now.
Can you look him up? Did he retire officially?
No, he's not officially retired.
He hasn't officially retired?
No, he's said that he's done playing football, but he has not filed the paperwork.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the Browns, I mean, the Browns look exactly like the best version of the Browns, minus obviously the quarterback. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a nice placeholder, but they just ran the fuck out of the football.
Jacoby Brissett is the guy that knows exactly what to do at any given time. Now, he's not physically able to do the right thing, but he knows what should be done. Like, I bet he'd be an awesome Madden player.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Great decision-making, great coach, but then he's just not physically able to, like, make really nice throws.
Yeah,
but he's got a crisp handoff.
Yeah, right. He gets in the huddle with, like, 3 minutes left if they're down 7, and he's like, all right, guys, so I know we got to run tempo and score a touchdown. I'm not going to be able to do that, but I do know that you should do that. Mm-hmm. And he knows that. He knows the passes that should be made. He can't probably do all of them, but he knows.
He won't ever, like, seal a game with a touchdown, but he'll tick enough time off the clock and get them to a place in field position to pin them relatively deep on a punt,
right,
and then let their defense go out there and win the game.
Right, exactly.
That's what you get with Jacoby Brissett.
Exactly. So the Browns, I mean, that was congrats to the Browns. Let's clap it up for the Browns.
Yeah.
2004 is a long-ass time ago.
Good job, Browns fans.
That's a long-ass time ago.
The only other note that I had in this game was Matt Rule always kind of looks like he's staring at the sun.
Yeah.
He's just always got this, like, squint on his face, and, like, he kind of curls up his mouth and looks confused. I think Matt Rule would be a great selection to go to Nebraska.
So Matt Rule was very upset, and he actually kind of had a fair argument. I learned a lot about fake spikes today with spikes today with Jameis spiking and getting intentional grounding. Jacoby Brissett actually had the flag thrown on him at the end of the game for his spike because he did kind of fake it. If you fake it, you can't then spike it. That's intentional grounding. Which makes sense.
If you fake the spike, you can't re-spike it.
If you take a step back and, like, look downfield and then try to spike it, that's intentional grounding.
Yeah.
So they threw the flag. The refs convened. They picked up the flag. Matt Rule lost his shit. I think he has a fair argument, but if you're the Panthers, don't you want the Panthers? If you're the Panther fans, don't you want the Panthers to lose so Matt Rule gets fired?
Yes.
Right. So I think that's kind of a win-win.
Was it Jacoby Brissett that had a doink today with a pass?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes.
That's the best spike of all.
That was awesome.
It was like 10 yards out, and he threw it maybe halfway up the upright and bounced it off it. That should be a live ball.
Yes.
So there's arguments to be made on both sides whether or not it should be a live ball on a field goal attempt. I think on a pass attempt, if it hits the upright, that's a fumble.
Yeah.
And it can be advanced by either team.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the chaos that would ensue from that. Like a quarterback trying to spike it off the crossbar and then just everybody on the team diving on it in the end zone.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
It would be great. And Cade York, that was a sick kick. Rookie, LSU, 58-yarder to win the game. I'm happy. There's times when I'm worried because it feels like with Evan McPherson, Cade York, Koo is actually a very good kicker. There's times when I get worried that we have too many good kickers, but then we had so many missed field goals and extra points. It's like, no, we're good. Because that would suck. Yeah. If everyone was Justin Tucker, the NFL would be boring.
It'd be very, very boring.
Yeah, we need missed kicks.
Yeah. If you're a Browns fan, I think you're happy with the way that things have turned out so far, that Baker is no longer on your team. You probably wish that you had signed a non-sexual predator to the contract that you signed him to.
Correct.
But I think, like, Baker can always be accepted by Browns fans as being a guy that helped change the Browns into a team that would miss that field goal at the end of this game and figure out a way to lose it. Like, the culture did change when Baker was there.
Without a doubt.
And he had a big part in it. So I don't think that they'll ever really, truly hate Baker Mayfield after. They'll just be like, he was good. He was an important part. Like, the Baker years were a turning point, I think, for the Browns as a franchise into being a team that lost, 14 games a season to a team that will probably be hovering around 500 for the next 10 years.
To a team that has a roster good enough that they're going to take a risk on signing a sexual predator.
Correct.
He was the bridge
He
guy.
got you to the point where you're in fuck it, risk it all mode.
Yeah, right, exactly. He bridged you to that point.
Yeah.
I agree. The Baker clearly, I mean, he listens to everything. He comments on a lot of things. I do think he got a raw deal. Like he
was hurt last year.
He didn't do anything wrong. He tried his hardest for the Browns. He was hurt. He took them to the playoffs the first time in forever. Like, if anyone should feel shitty about it, it's Baker. Like, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was the franchise quarterback, and then I wasn't, and then you signed a sexual predator.
He beat your biggest rival in the playoffs.
Right.
That counts for something.
But that's just also how the NFL works.
Yep.
Like, they wanted to move on.
But, I mean, it's also kind of shocking that the Browns made probably a smart business decision.
Correct.
Maybe that's the most crazy part of this whole thing.
Correct.
Is like, wait, you're the Browns. You should be happy to just have a guy that's gotten you to a point where you're good enough to win a playoff game. They should give you a way too big contract extension and cripple the franchise for the next decade. Instead, they made probably a good football decision and moved on. That's very confusing for all of us to process.
Yes. Browns, Jets next week. Whose line is it anyway?
Where is it?
It's in Cleveland, I believe.
I'm going to say Browns
by 7.
It is
4.5.
6.5. Browns 6.5. There you go, Billy.
I had one more thing on this game. To your point earlier,
yes.
I think as it stands right now, this foursome of AFC North kickers could be the greatest division of kickers ever. McPherson was unbelievable last year.
Tucker, Boswell,
and Cade York.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
This could be every
division
AFC
of
North
kickers.
Yeah.
Okay,
you guys rank the quarterbacks.
That's a good point. We should do a new ranking of the quarterbacks in the AFC North. I'm gonna go Kenny Pickett first.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go Lamar second.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go Huntley third.
Okay. Burrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that was way too low.
That was definitely an shit
I
moment.
forgot about Burrow. Okay, Burrow 1, Pickett 2. Shit.
Yeah, you're fucked.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay,
let's
we'll do it later.
Let's find a new division to rank.
We'll do it later. All right, let's go to. We'll speed through a couple of these games. I mean, the Colts Texans tie. I'm just saying it right now. The Texans won. That was a win for the Texans and a loss for the Colts.
Well, it's good for the Texans that they were able to be good enough to build up a 17-point lead.
Correct.
That counts for something.
And then hold a tie.
Yeah,
for a while.
Well, they punted to win with the tie.
Right. And the AFC South went winless today, and two teams played each other.
So
that's incredible. The Texans are in first place by half a game.
I think the Texans, they had an opportunity to, it was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and they could have gone for it and maybe potentially ended up in field goal position. But Lovey was like, listen, we're not going to win this game. Let's punt it and then pray that our defense holds and get the tie. So a tie, yes, it looks
it's a
pretty
win
good
for the Texans.
It looks pretty good. The Colts, unfortunately, Billy, I don't think they even activated your guy,
Sam Ellinger.
He's going to come out.
Okay.
Season.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because Matt Ryan, I mean, it was a bad start, but then he figured it out. Comeback was nice. Mills Mafia looked great. O.J. Howard on the Texans scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Two catches, 2 touchdowns. That's efficiency, baby. But yeah, this game was like, okay, these guys deserve to tie.
Yeah.
It had tie energy from like the fourth quarter on.
There were a few games that had that. I was hoping for multiple ties today, but Texans Colts just something weird always happens when these teams play. You can go back to even when Peyton Manning was playing on the Colts, and like Sage Rosenfels would get out to like hot starts against them.
Yeah,
it's a storied rivalry between two very confusing franchises.
Yes, and it was yeah, you're absolutely right, and it was also like the Texans. It just felt like something weird was going to happen because the Browns, we just mentioned, 2004. Next up, Colts. Colts have not won in 9 straight week 1s. Remember that for next year, Jake. Colts have not won in 9 straight week 1s. That feels significant. Yeah, that's a long time now. What do you say, Billy?
Peyton hasn't. That doesn't even. Does that include any Peyton years?
9? Yeah,
14, 13 maybe. No, I don't think it does.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, I think that's the full Andrew Luck career though. Who was on the sideline for Stanford USC. That was nice to see him.
That's true, with his family.
Yep.
He looked happy.
Yeah, he did look happy.
He looks goofy.
He looks very
Which is good.
He had a goofy hat on.
I like goofy
He had a hat
Andrew
that
Luck.
was like a Brooklyn Dodgers hat from like 1940.
I think Andrew Luck was just born to be a goofy dad.
Yeah. and he's gonna crush it at that.
Girl dad.
Two girls. Yeah, he mentioned that. Okay, yeah. So Colts Texans tied.
Drew Brees could never.
Nope.
He would just completely ignore
Put
him.
him in a river. Mm-hmm. Just wash him down.
Give me a man next time.
Oh,
God.
Drew Brees, what a dick, by the way. We're gonna talk about college football.
Yeah.
But that Instagram where he was like, yeah, he separated his shoulder. Just get back in there.
Shoot it up.
Yeah, and maybe that's why the roster of the Saints was held back for 4 years.
Well, also, I mean, the nice thing Drew Brees could give direct advice on is like, if you treat it this way, you'll never go to the Miami Dolphins.
Right, exactly. All right, Giants Titans were in the afternoon games. Dable dancing with the team. Dable putting his nuts on the line and going for 2. I fucking loved it. And I'm starting to believe, I mean, Saquon said this is going to be his revenge tour. He was awesome today. He was incredible. He was in everything. He was catching passes, running routes, running huge home runs, Saquon runs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Giants.
He looked fresh.
Yeah.
He looked real fresh. And I think a new, like a rookie head coach, if you have a roster where you're not expected to win now, you can do stuff like this. And honestly, if he had not gone for 2, that would have been a big red flag.
Correct.
Like, you know that you're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. Like, put your nuts on the line, get a reputation as somebody who believes in your team, then they'll start to fight for you and things will turn around quicker.
Become the
later.
culture.
Become the culture. Brian Dayballs. That's who he is.
Yeah.
He brought the nuts out. He kind of looks like a testicle.
He's a big bowling ball.
Yeah,
that's
he
what
is.
I think what Jules calls
he's
him.
like a nut, like a actual testes.
Yeah, he is the culture. Him dancing in the locker room, he is the culture.
They
now.
seem to like him.
And Daniel Jones is just like, Daniel Jones will beat you if you just give him endless chances.
All right, so
that's really all it comes down to.
There was one moment in this game when we saw Daniel Jones throw that interception to the corner of the end zone.
Yep.
Where I turned to Tommy Smokes, who's next to us. He's a Giants fan, and I said, you know, at least like Daniel Jones is making this decision for you.
Right.
Because a throw like that, you see it, and you're like, okay, he's definitely not the guy. Mm-hmm. He does some nice things occasionally, but you know that if you make a throw like that and get picked off in the red zone, you're just not the guy. You're not the guy to bet on for the long term. And then that motherfucker comes back and helps you win the game.
That's
later.
what I'm saying.
And then you're like, wow, this is the ultimate Daniel Jones experience where he might be the guy. Now I'm thinking like Daniel Jones, in the right circumstances, he might be a nice guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if you give him, they just kept on giving him chances, and eventually Daniel Jones will win a game.
Yeah,
if you just give him like 17 chances to win the game.
Yeah,
yeah, because that pick felt like it was the game over, and the Titans. Turns out they might miss AJ Brown a little bit.
A lot.
Their defense still looked good without Landry, but yeah, they might miss AJ Brown.
Fat Randy got iced. You can't ice fat. It turns out.
Fat Randy.
That was
It's great to see him.
So Aaron Schatz from Football Outsiders, he pointed this out at the end of the game. They did the thing where they take the knee to give the kicker like a better angle at it.
Oh yeah.
And if they hadn't taken those 2.5 yards out, Fat Randy's kick probably would have gone in.
Yeah, it was a very weird thing that Tannehill was like, dude, are you going to take the knee? Are you going to take the knee? And he just kept on kind of going backwards. It was like usually when you take a knee, you lose a yard. He lost like 4.
It was a bad knee.
Yeah, it
he
was
took
very
a very
bad
bad knee. And they also had to burn a timeout at the end of the game too because it looked like they were going to get a delay of game.
Right.
So Vrabel had to burn one there. You think Vrabel respects Dable, or do you think he hates him? Because they had a physical handshake. I think it was a
New England
respect.
guys.
I think it was a
Oh,
respect
yeah.
thing. I think it was just like they're just physical guys.
Yeah. And just like, that's how Vrabel shows his love, is just getting even more physical.
Yeah, it's like almost fighting you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the true testament
Actually,
of love.
yes. Like when we've met Vrabel in the past, he just
slapped the fuck out of me in the back of my. Yeah, he just slapped me in the back, and I like coughed up a lung.
thought he was going to break my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got 3 more games. PFT, you got a quick word from our sponsors.
Yeah, before we get to this next game, it's brought to you by our friends at HelloFresh. If you have a packed schedule this fall, HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of 30-plus recipes and 70-plus convenience items, all delivered directly to your door. You can enjoy the freshest fall flavors. Every HelloFresh recipe includes ripe, just-picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. HelloFresh works with your schedule. Plans are flexible, and you can change your meal preferences, update your delivery day, and even change your address with just a few taps on the HelloFresh app. You can easily customize your meals with Hello Custom by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading to choice proteins, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. It's never been easier to eat your way. I love HelloFresh. Hank, you've been eating HelloFresh as well, right? Getting those meal preps. What do you like?
I like the chicken a lot. I like the burgers. I love the sweet potatoes, the carrots. I love all the HelloFresh items.
You can go to HelloFresh.com/PMT16 and use code PMT16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. I thought that was a typo, but I guess since it's HelloFresh.com/PMT16 and code PMT16, you do get 16 free meals. That's a ton of free meals. 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh.com/PMT16. This recap is also brought to you by Truebill. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions when the actual total is usually closer to $200 plus. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. There's this app that I love, and it takes care of all that for me. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels what you don't want for you. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know you were paying for. You may even find out that you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/take. Seriously, it could save you hundreds of dollars per year or more. That's rocketmoney.com/take.
Okay, 3 games left. The TV went out. We're also out of practice. Usually when we get mid-season, we start taping a little bit earlier.
It's 1:30 right now.
It's 1:30.
That's okay.
We're not going to be this late every week, I hope. We're going to try. We're just out of practice.
We'll see.
We enjoyed the hell out of the terrible Sunday night football game.
I'm okay with being this late, though.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah. Nope.
Howling at the moon.
I'm looking at the guys who still have to do like another 2.5 hours after, and maybe not. Either way, we got 3 games left. Chiefs, Cardinals. Chiefs 44, Cardinals 21. Turns out Patrick Mahomes is still really fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think we talked to Jules about that. It's like, wait, we haven't really said his name at all, and he's probably the best quarterback physically in the history of the NFL.
Well, he's now, I have a stat to kind of back up how insane Patrick Mahomes is. There's 6 players in NFL history with at least 6 5-touchdown games. Breeze, Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger, Marino. Those are the other 5. All of them took at least 240 games to do it. Patrick Mahomes did it today. It was his 64th game played.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in fucking sane.
He's a freak, and I think week 1 Patrick Mahomes is even better than average Patrick Mahomes.
And on top of that, the quote-unquote Patrick Mahomes killer last year, the too high safety shell, that every team was like, this is how we stop him. He had 110 passer rating against it today.
Well, they also blitzed him, which is a terrible idea.
But it's just like,
I don't think Cliff Kingsbury actually sat down and looked at a game plan for this because it doesn't make any sense what they tried to do to stop him.
Yeah, that's why they're in the Pinky Bowl next Sunday. But Patrick Mahomes all offseason, Tyreek Hill's gone. He's going to have to do things differently. Turns out he can do everything and do it at such an insane level that he's still Patrick Mahomes, and we should all just, I walked away, big takeaways from this week one of them was, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yes, obviously. I think we forget about him a lot because we talk about Josh Allen, but Patrick Mahomes is if anybody goes, if there's one quarterback that's going to go out and throw for 500 yards on a given week, it's probably going to be Mahomes.
If you had to bet your life.
Yes, he's the guy.
Give me one guy who can throw 5 touchdowns.
He's the guy that you would put it on. And I think it's kind of bullshit that Pacheco is wearing number 10 and he kind of looks like Tyreek Hill. Yeah. That's very confusing to me. Although I understand it does make him look a lot faster because he is wearing Tyreek Hill's number. I feel like he absorbs some of that from Tyreek. But it's weird watching that because I'm like, wait, you're on the Dolphins now.
Yeah. And the last thing with the 5 touchdown pass games, it reminded me that Phil Rivers never had one, which always bums me out.
That sucks.
It's crazy.
All right, so Mahomes says that he's 5-0 in season, or Mahomes is 5-0 in season openers, and he's thrown 18 touchdowns and no interceptions.
That's crazy. He's so fucking good. And I don't want to shit on the Cardinals, but I'm not going to take them seriously until DeAndre Hopkins is back.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Their offense didn't look good today.
There's nothing exciting about the Cardinals except
they
bet the pinky on them. You know what they don't do? They don't do the small things well. Like they don't. It feels like the Cardinals are always in 3rd and long, and they need Kyler Murray to be a hero. And a lot of times he is a hero, and he's an incredible quarterback. But like, I feel like I never watch a Cardinals game, and they're like in 2nd and 3, and then like 3rd and 1. They just it always feels like we gotta hit a home run play.
The only consistent thing about the Cardinals is James Conner is going to score a touchdown.
Yep,
that's what you can set your watch to. That, and also we have a full season of getting to know Dortch, the wide receiver Dortch,
great
from
name.
Wake Forest, I believe.
Dortch, yeah. Mahomes, fucking goddamn, he's so good. 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns,
yeah,
0 interceptions. Also, one fun fact from this game. I was looking at the box score. There were 8 fumbles in this game, and only 1 was lost.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I think Juju had a couple of them today.
8 fumbles and only 1 was lost. That's really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So I asked our guy, Stathole Sports. He said he went back and looked. In 1999, the Broncos played the Jaguars. There were 8 fumbles and 0 turnovers. So that was the only other time. I was like, find me the most fumbles with the least amount of lost. 8 fumbles, 1 recovered by the other team.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Another contender in terms of the division with the best kickers in the NFL would be the AFC West, because not only do they have Butker on the Chiefs, but
big balls,
huge balls,
injured.
He had a 54-yarder on a 2-step approach.
Yep.
And then proceeded to injure himself more on that kick.
Yep.
But they also have Justin Reed, their safety, who is probably good enough to be a starting kicker on a lot of teams in the NFL. This dude is kicking balls out of the back of the end zone on kickoffs. He's a safety, and he's nailing field goals and extra points, hitting it above the kicking net. Like, the guy is legitimately an NFL caliber place kicker, but he's also a safety. He might be the best athlete in the NFL.
Yeah, save a roster spot.
That's crazy.
Have him do both.
I mean, on a kickoff, it actually makes a ton of sense. If you can have a guy that is good enough to be 85% even as good of a kickoff kicker as your normal kicker is, but he's also a great tackler.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Extra guy on the field, yeah.
That is a huge advantage.
That's a cheat code.
Yeah.
Damn, Andy Reid's done it again. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, still incredible. All right, Chargers, Raiders. Chargers 24, Raiders 19. This was my other big takeaway. I'm officially now here ready to say I'm taking the Chargers very much for real as a team that can win the Super Bowl. They looked awesome. Their defense looked awesome. Khalil Mack and is it Joey? No, Nick. Nick Bosa? No, Joey. Nick.
Nick Bosa.
Nick. Joey.
No, it's Nick.
Joey's on the Chargers.
Joey.
It's Nick.
Joey. Tom Kennedy?
Timmy
Kennedy. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa had 4.5 sacks and forced 2 turnovers and had 16 pressures. And Justin Herbert looked incredible, as always, throwing just fucking cannon shots everywhere. Keenan Allen, I think, got hurt halfway through the game, too.
Yeah, that's what Keenan Allen does.
I watched Brandon Staley's speech after the game in the locker room, and I was ready to run through a brick wall. And I was resistant because the media loves them and they haven't done anything. But I'm ready. I'm here now, ready to apologize and say I'm taking the Chargers very much for real.
I mean, they're a very talented team, and they have been for a while. But the Chargers do weird stuff. They do weird stuff to win games in unusual fashions, and I hope that changes this year. But I've seen a lot of Chargers games in the past,
right?
And I know that it's a completely different team, completely different coaching staff from when they were the weirdest team of all time. But it's going to take a while to get that stink off my brain.
Right.
I still expect the Chargers to do strange things and to, get to a place where they have more talent than any team in the league, but yet somehow find ways to win all sorts of easy games.
And that was the thing last year. They were a good team, obviously, but they didn't make the playoffs. So I wasn't ready to say, oh, my God, this team is incredible. They didn't make the fucking playoffs.
But think about it today. So I guess it's kind of a silver lining for the Raiders. Derek Carr... The world is filled with Derek Carr truthers. I'm convinced that I don't know where they come from, but you can't tell me. I will not believe in Derek Carr. I just won't. I know that like some people are saying like, oh, he should be a league MVP. I'm going to put a future on him to win the league MVP. He's really good. I think he can be league MVP this year. And I've never seen that from Derek Carr.
Right.
He's a confusing quarterback. He has the worst internal clock.
Well, no. So here's what
I think he's the most sackable quarterback in the league right now.
Here's what it is. When like Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, when the blocking's there and they have like 4 or 5 seconds, you're watching it and you're saying, well, this sucks. They're gonna, like, if you're playing them, if Tom Brady has 5 seconds, you're like, well, he's clearly gonna hit an open guy. Derek Carr, the more time he has, like the more dangerous it gets for Derek Carr. He's like, oh, I have all this time. I'm gonna do something really fucked up, really stupid.
Yeah.
He did that a couple times where it was like, he was under a lot of pressure today, but there were a couple times where it was like, oh, he's got a little bit of time here. Oh, he threw an interception. And it's like, fuck, dude, what are you doing?
I think there's always something wrong with his internal clock.
Yeah.
He's always making really unusual decisions. The great news, though, for the Raiders is he played about as bad as he can play, and you only lost by 5 points.
Yes.
So that's pretty good. Like, he got his lunch eaten, especially like that offensive line had some issues dealing with Mack and with Bosa, and things got sideways for a while. But you only lost by 5 points to maybe the most talented team in that division.
We also have to, I know it's early, but obviously they played together at Fresno State. Devontae Adams was incredible today, but are we going to, I don't know, 2-3 weeks from now be like, is he forcing it? Because Devontae Adams had 17 targets, the rest of the receivers had 18 total.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, is there going to be a little bit of like, hey, he's just trying to get his guy? Because that can happen, and it's like that can be bad when you're not hitting other guys.
They've got enough good players like Waller.
I know Waller,
Hunter
Renfro. Yeah, no, they have a lot of good players, but I will never. Derek Carr I had money on the Raiders, and I was watching it and being like, this isn't going to work out.
Okay, let me go back a little bit.
Then the Chargers defense deserves a lot of credit because they looked good.
I was basically saying that Derek Carr is an exploding bag of dog shit, and I say that with love in my heart. I would not say that about him if he actually was dog shit. Yeah. I think he's good enough, but he's good enough to be so frustrating when he makes these bad decisions.
Because I
would ignore him if he was just dog trash. But
it's getting into the tiers. It's like Derek Carr shows flashes where he's like he's an elite quarterback, but he's not.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
He never will be.
I will never believe in him enough to put him up in that like he can win it. The only way that Derek Carr could ever win a Super Bowl is if he had like an all-star team at every single position around him, and even then, he might find a way to screw it up.
Right. He is the perfect example of a guy who can flash elite quarterback play, and then at the other side just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Dude? But the Chargers defense was incredible, and they were all up in his ass all day. And I think the offensive line for the Raiders is a huge problem. That like they could have all these other positions and they can have explosive games. But it's going to be hard when you go up against that. You go up against the Chiefs with Chris Jones. Like, it's going to be tough. They're going to have some tough games where their offensive line is going to have to figure it out for Derek Carr.
They also got a guy that on the offensive line that has the tattoos of Richie Incognito, and it confused me for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, I think that's Richie back out there.
I think it's just reincarnation.
Probably.
It's beautiful. He retired, and then that guy got all the tattoos. Okay. So, yeah, Chargers officially, that was another big takeaway. I'm officially taking them very, very seriously this year. Might even have to place a future on them. I probably missed all the good numbers, but whatever. All right, last game, Rowback game. Use promo code TAKE, Rowback for 20% off your first purchase, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. They have everything, polos, Q-zips, hoodies, and they also have great shorts. Basically anything you want to be comfortable. I was wearing my Rowback polo this weekend in Iowa City. The best gear, RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Aaron Rodgers is so mad. He's so mad. The Vikings won 23-7. Aaron Rodgers is so mad.
He does not like those wide receivers.
He wants
at
to
all.
kill Christian Watson.
Do you think there's ever been a bigger disparity in the amount of drugs that two opposing quarterbacks have ever done than Aaron Rodgers versus Kirk Cousins?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think it's possible.
chance.
Actually,
No chance.
Kirk Cousins has probably called the cops on his friends for using drugs.
He probably called he probably pulled me. He probably called the cops on Aaron Rodgers today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I think this guy's holding. He smells funny.
I should actually form an alliance with Kirk Cousins. Let's get Aaron Rodgers in jail.
Or maybe Kirk Cousins caught a contact high from Aaron Rodgers today. That's what chilled him out so much, and he was able to take a few chances.
Yeah, that's true. He did. I mean,
he
Justin
looked good.
Jefferson also is so insane. Is he the best receiver in the NFL?
I'm going to say that Justin Jefferson is top 3 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, because we always do this and then we forget a bunch of
Yeah.
people. But
I'm
he was
forgetting
incredible.
At least 3 people.
You
right
just
now.
looked up every 2 seconds. Yeah, no, I was about to get to that. So Aaron Rodgers hates his receivers so much. And, of course, everything Aaron Rodgers does makes news. And he probably was just doing it out of the kindness of his heart. But he did go up to Justin Jefferson after the game and he said, "You're the best player in the game."
Yeah, I don't think that's really news. I mean, like,
Christian Watson was also laying on the ground right next to him.
Yeah, but do you expect Aaron Rodgers to go up to like Alan Lazard and be like, "You're the best receiver in the league, dude"?
No,
Like,
no. Best player.
Yeah, I know.
Not receiver. He called him the best player.
I'm just
in the
saying,
game.
like, I think that's like, I'm not going to get on Aaron Rodgers for doing that. I don't think that's him
I will.
throwing anybody under the bus.
Oh, I will.
I think that he is. I actually am going to attack Aaron Rodgers because he's doing too much media these days.
Yeah.
He's doing this Sunday conversation. He's doing
got Vax finally.
Pardon My Take. He's doing the Joe Rogan show. He's on InfoWars, all the above. Like, Aaron Rodgers he's become the new Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. And man, I loved every second of it. And fuck you to Jake. Special fuck you to Jake, because Jake just completely ruined my mood when he was like, "Oh, this is going to be great because now the Packers have lost and the Bears have won, so Big Cat's going to convince himself the Bears are going to beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football week 2."
But that's not going to happen.
Let me do that.
I'm not wrong though, right?
But let me do it.
I'm not saying you can't.
Let me just walk into the same. I'm Sideshow Bob. I step on the rake and then I step on another rake.
Saying,
Let
you
me
have
just keep doing it.
Some confidence that you didn't think you were going to have when this day began.
The Bears are going to beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
There you go.
I think they will.
There you go.
The Packers, Aaron Rodgers hates his wide receivers. He hates them.
Yeah, I would too if I was him.
Yeah.
Did you see that pass that was dropped in the first
Christian
quarter?
Watson.
Christian Watson.
He wants to kill him.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
It was. I would absolutely hate my.
If
wide
a
receivers.
Packers wide receiver goes missing, it's Aaron Rodgers. He killed him in jail.
I thought it was interesting too how Jordan Love came on and didn't seem to have those same issues.
He
with
was
wide
perfect.
receiver.
He was so good.
Yeah, isn't that weird though? Like, I think Jordan Love might throw a veteran ball.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I know what's gonna happen. I know I know Matt LaFleur's a phenomenal head coach, and I know it's still Aaron Rodgers, and I know the Packers will right the ship. And I'm not gonna overreact because I did this last year when they lost to the Saints. But I'm just saying I'm living in the moment, and this moment is very fun. The Bears are 1-0, the Packers are 0-1, and that franchise is crumbling.
Well, Matt LaFleur also, he is a good coach, but he did give bulletin board material to the entire Vikings fan base. He was like, I know they're going to blow that stupid horn when they come in there. It's not a stupid horn. It's called the field goal horn?
Yeah.
And it means it's got a long history of tradition.
Yeah.
Up there, remember when it froze and cracked because it was too cold outside? That's what they used to use to introduce Ragnar, the mascot.
Yeah.
For the Vikings back in the day. So LaFleur, I know he came under a lot of fire from the Vikings fan base. I think he's just doing the old Phil Jackson where he knew he was going to lose this game. He tried to put it on himself for jinxing them ahead of time.
Smart.
As opposed to making Aaron Rodgers have to come to terms with him hating all his teammates.
He's a great head coach. I wanted to finish with a couple names I just want to throw out there. Devontae Adams, he's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
T. Higgins, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman?
Yeah, he's okay.
Debo Samuel?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Those are all wide receivers the Packers could have drafted in the last couple of years that they didn't because they wanted to draft someone else. So Aaron Rodgers, you have a gripe, dude. You should hold out again because it's fucked up what they've done to you.
Did you say Devontae Adams?
Yeah, I said
That's one of
Devontae
them?
Adams, yeah.
They could have drafted him?
Yeah, well, they could have had him this year.
That's
but
true.
Aaron Rodgers took so much money, he ate the whole pie.
That's true.
So there's nothing they could have done. So I'm just saying.
They got Randall Cobb.
It's crumbling. This franchise is crumbling.
I love it.
The Bears are going to win. The Bears are going to be 2-0, and the Packers are going to be 0-2. Think about that. Think about that world that we're going to live in. Are you ready for that world, Packers fans? You're not. And I know that it's like 2 a.m. and I'm just talking out of my ass and I'm kind of delirious, but I'm living in the moment. You're not ready for that moment.
I love that the Packers' strategy for making Aaron Rodgers happy was like, fine, we'll get Randall Cobb back.
Yeah.
You loved that guy like 10 years ago.
Jordy Nelson.
That should
Are you
make
doing
everything
something?
better. Okay.
Yes. And the Vikings look very good. Kevin O'Connell passed first test. The Vikings. I talked myself into the Vikings winning the North, and then I bet on the Packers today because that's how stupid I am.
I think I might be ready to respect Kirk Cousins on
Don't
this
do
program
this yet.
because I'm gonna say that like Kevin O'Connell might have unlocked something.
Well,
what do you think about that? You think like Kirk Cousins has been like activated?
Well, they don't just run on first down every time and play the most conservative football. 1 game sample size.
I think Cousins has been activated.
Wow. He did have a perfect Kirk Cousins. He was 23 for 32, 277 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful, Kirk Cousins.
Like Kirk Cousins it's the Bitcoin avatar where it's like Kirk Cousins this year has the glowing red eyes.
Yes. He's ready to go. He's ready to take off. Packers are dead. Billy, football guy of the week?
Football Guy of the Week.
Yes.
Football Guy of the Week is brought to you by Body Armor. This season, you know your favorite players are hydrating with Body Armor Sports Drink on and off the field. Body Armor Sports Drink is more than just a sports drink. Body Armor Sports Drink is the choice for hardworking hydration. It has all the potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, B vitamins, plus no artificial sweeteners, flavors, and dyes. It's available for purchase in-store and on Amazon now. Go get you some Body Armor. I just drank one this week. Our winner of last week's Football Guy of the Week is Chase Morales, who was the high school kid who ran without his helmet. Found him. He's a baseball recruit.
Oh, you found him?
I found him. Yeah.
Oh. So you did when we said don't hunt a high schooler, you're like, nah.
I didn't. No. I found him on Twitter.
Okay.
He's trying to play college baseball. I put his highlight tape in the blog, so hopefully someone sees that and maybe gets a break.
Did you mail him the nail?
No, because I didn't go to that level of stalking a high school kid.
That's fair.
So yeah,
You didn't nail him.
Yeah.
I didn't nail him.
Okay.
Maybe we got. Do we have
Billy,
another
you're only allowed to nail people who are over 18.
Yeah.
Okay, good point.
I think we gotta start sending these people some cheesesteaks too.
Yeah,
that's
part of my
huge.
cheesesteak.
We can send a high schooler some cheesesteak.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
with
huge.
a nail in it.
Yeah.
1 out of every 4 cheesesteaks we send to the Football Guy of the Week will have a nail in it.
It's gritty.
You have to guess which one.
So the first nominee for this week was a Detroit fan who just showed up to the game in full pads.
Yes.
McConkey. The thing was, him and his wife were sort of both cosplaying in something. So he's dressed up as a football player. His wife is kind of dressed up as like I think like a Downton Abbey type character. So we'll see.
That always is what I think of
For the
when I
Queen?
think of football. Oh,
Yeah.
for the Queen.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what it is.
for the Queen.
Wait, is that show about the Queen?
I don't
It's
know.
British.
It's British.
Yeah, it's very
They
British.
definitely talk about
I think
the
every
Queen.
British show in some way is about the Queen.
Everything
Yeah.
in Britain's for the Queen. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then our second nominee is Ray Rochelle, a defensive lineman who's playing his first football season at 49-year-old as a college freshman.
Hell yeah.
I love
So,
that guy.
super old guy.
I love these stories.
Yeah.
And it's at like North Dakota State University of Sciences or something like
Yeah.
that. I saw the clip from practice where they were doing a fumble drill where he was just running with the ball and then just getting stripped by somebody. And they were
It's
having
great.
a great time. Like you watch this guy play and you're like, I respect the hell. I admire that guy for following his dream.
Go do it.
I mean, him getting out of a 3-point stance. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing it at that age. The third nominee is Luke Caston, another high school kid who before every game, he mows the whole field.
Oh,
He gets in an electric lawnmower and mows the whole field.
Wait, electric lawnmower?
It's a ride along.
Oh, is it gas?
I think it's gas.
Okay,
I think
all
it's
right.
gas.
Because I was going to rescind his football guy if he's an electric mower.
It's
Yeah.
got to be like total
Gas.
like gas guzzling
Like
to the max.
I wanted to
Diesel.
I wanted to like raise the temperature of that town by 3 degrees per year
you
that
can
he uses it.
you can see the ozone layer like evaporating wherever he mows.
Our next nominee is this old
I love Billy's It's like very interesting opinion.
So this is this is high school heavy. It won't be like this every week.
Oh yeah,
But-
sure. Yeah, definitely not.
No, but basically this old guy in Arkansas ran out of the stands to fight a ref. It's like ridiculous. And this guy's like too old to be doing anything physical. And he's just walking out there and he's trying to throw hands with the refs. And he had to be restrained by multiple cops. But I don't know what was done to cause it to set him off, but that's pretty hilarious.
Okay.
And our last nominee, little add-on.
That guy definitely has like some corn whiskey coursing through his blood right now.
Yeah.
That guy's hammered.
Yeah.
Respect.
And last guy was a Jets fan who was doing push-ups before the game in the parking lot between two cars.
Nice.
So football guy moved. Kept
Okay.
pump going.
Okay. All right, so go vote for on the blog. I have 2 others that just thrown in there, honorable mentions. The kid at LSU who just slowly walked out to the 10-yard line and was like literally just, he was very, very drunk, but he was just taking in the scene. And then the cops came and were like, hey, you can't do this. And then he tried to slap a cop and then he got fucking like his head shoved into the ground, but it was sick.
The kid was like, the cops came out and the kid looked at the cops like, why are you harassing me
like
here?
I'm fucking
Like I
on
know
the
my
field, bro.
I know my rights. He tried doing like some sovereign citizen shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm actually a interstate traveler right now. You can't arrest me.
It
here.
was awesome. He was so drunk. I was one of those drunks where it's like I wish I was that drunk.
He was lost. He got lost on a field during an LSU game.
How cool is that?
Yeah, very
They ran a play while he was standing on the 10-yard
Yeah.
line.
That's
was
definitely
awesome.
acid. That dude's
It was so
tripping.
sick. And then also the guy, there was just a picture of a guy who was watching the Bills game at the bar and he brought a football with him.
Oh,
He
yeah.
he had his chin resting on the football.
Yeah, Trent, I think, tweeted that
Yeah,
out.
fucking love that guy.
Yep.
Legend. Okay, good job, Billy. All right, let's finish up. We got Who's Back of the Week. It's sponsored by Visible. Starts at just $30 a month for a one-line plan, taxes and fees included. No family plan needed. You get unlimited data and hotspot, which means you can stream what you want from pretty much anywhere. And now they have a new plan that includes 5G, ultra-wideband, and global calling. Switch today at Visible.com. Best wireless out there for a very affordable price, Visible.com. Hank, Who's Back of the Week?
My Who's Back of the Week is 19-year-olds.
Oh,
all right. Very good.
Carlos Alcaraz won the U.S. Open.
Wow, all right. And he's only 19.
He's 19.
That's an awesome name.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's been a while since we've had a 19-year-old in our midst. And now we got another one. U.S. Open champ.
Carlos Alcaraz. What a
Alcaraz.
cool name. Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
I will
Carlos,
say-
are we pronouncing it correct? Carlos Alcatraz?
Yes,
Alcatraz.
you guys got it.
Jason wants to go home.
No. You guys gave me a lot of crap for bringing up tennis, but I had so many people tweeting at me Friday night being like, because you brought it up on the pod, I was watching Tiafoe and Alcaraz in the semifinal. It was a 5-setter. It was
Alcatraz.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it was a really good match.
Tiafoe is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll defend Jake for a little bit. We do give him a lot of shit for liking tennis because it's a very dorky sport that no one cares
Good
about.
when it gets intense.
But I like Alcatraz. I like Tiafoe. And I like that real prick that hates everything and smash Kyrgios. Yeah, the future.
And Djokovic,
the
who's
future
the
of tennis is in good hands with those three. Those are the big three moving forward. So pick your sides wisely. I think I'm a Kyrgios guy. On the court, like Peter King
Yes,
says,
on the
only
court.
on the court
Between the white lines.
And then I also like Tiafoe,
I think Tiafoe would be great on the show.
DC.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have Tiafoe on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I listen, my tennis take, I know it's exciting. People were talking about it. I have to draw the line somewhere. It's kind of like F1. Like,
Yeah,
I have
sure.
to draw the
No,
line
don't
somewhere.
get me
If I
wrong.
can't.
I only closely pay
Yeah.
attention to the Grand Slams.
I
Like,
can't-
I'm going
if I-
next year.
If I watch
yeah,
I was
tennis,
so much
watching.
fun to
I was
go.
watching Friday night. And I was like, I should have just fucking went to this.
if I watch
going-
tennis and F1, which we pretended to like, I mean, I still will watch Drive to Survive. I don't have enough time.
I'm not going to watch the smaller tournaments over football or basketball, but the Grand Slams are awesome.
I'll watch Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And when Djokovic is allowed to fucking compete because he would have won this thing.
But he didn't.
But he would have.
I'll also watch the Australian Open when it comes on at weird times.
Yeah.
When I just find myself watching TV when there's no other sports on. Australian Open's really good for that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Who's back? PFT, who's back?
Oh, Hank looks like he wants to kill me.
No.
You mad?
It's 2 in the morning. We just hit the
You
2
mad?
a.m.
Good.
You mad? My who's back of the week is the Water Dogs.
Yeah.
Because these little bitches, that's respectful, they're dogs. These little bitches are in the PLL finals next Sunday. Taking place at what time? Probably immediately at the same time as NFL kickoff next Sunday. So ratings are going to be through the roof. But I'm excited because I don't have to let out a random dog that I find in a neighborhood. That was going to be my punishment this week. Basically, every week I've been threatening to kill a stranger's dog unless the Water Dogs win. and they haven't lost since that began. So shaming and being just generally bad people to the Water Dogs have proven to be the most effective motivation. So who are we playing?
Chaos.
Chaos.
They beat a very good Whip Snakes team that has won the championship. I think 2 out of the past.
Can't be that good if we beat them.
No, but like it's a pretty big upset.
Listen, this is the absolute epitome of a win-win for us. We were talking about it before, but if the Water Dogs lose, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
We're just not going to say anything.
And if the Water Dogs win, I'm getting a ring. We're going to drink out of a cup.
You think Paul Rabel is going to hand us the trophy? I think that he should.
He absolutely should. I'm going to be like, just tell everyone, I won. I own the team that won the PLL championship.
I won a champ. We're basically going to be the Stan Kroenke
correct
of lacrosse.
So we cannot lose next Sunday.
No. And
what time's the game?
Probably 1 p.m.
3 p.m.
Okay. All right.
So the second half will happen after
even
the
better.
witching hour.
Right in the witching hour. Yeah.
No, that'll be
Great.
fine.
Yeah, you'll see the end of the game after the witching hour.
Okay.
We
will have
the Water Dogs. You know what? I'm just going to say the semifinals. That was really my championship.
Yep.
Because it's like the USA hockey team back in Lake Placid. When they beat USSR, that wasn't actually the finals. We beat the Whip Snakes.
Yep.
That was starting day one. We're like, we got to beat the Whip Snakes. If we do that, everyone's got us counted out. If we do that, then we're going to consider the season a success. So mission accomplished. Great job, Water Dogs.
I'm also going to say we will watch this game on a computer. Jake. And by that I mean Jake will watch it and tell us what happens.
I think Dukes will watch it.
Yeah.
And then he'll tell Jake what's happening, and then Jake will filter the important information to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I asked owner Big Cat his thoughts on the Water Dogs' first championship appearance. 2 words. Cool. Yay.
Yay. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I said it. I said cool.
Yeah.
Yay. Like that.
Hank, do you have any
good
comment?
job. Good boop for the Dogs.
I don't even think I'm actually an owner, so no.
Did you not sign the paperwork?
No.
Sign it now. Sign it
might
right
have.
before the championship.
Yeah, you should sign it.
And then that way, if they lose, double win-win for us because we'll be like, that's Hank's fault.
Our ownership group has been poisoned.
Yep. From the inside.
So, yeah, the Water Dogs, I guess, are back. Also back is Blog PFT because the MMBM is coming back.
Nice.
I've been waiting to make an announcement about that. I talked about it last year when I did the interview with KFC behind the blog, and I really, really miss writing. I don't have that much time to do it anymore, but it's a thing that I really love doing more than anything else. So I don't know when it's going to come out.
Damn.
It's going to, well, I mean, like I love
joke.
writing.
I know.
And it's going to come out sometime either Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure if it's going to be Monday or Tuesday.
Sounds like Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday. That way,
Maybe even Wednesday.
You know what? If it comes out Tuesday, I can include what happens on Monday night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
boom.
sure. That'll happen.
Boom.
The Tuesday morning quarterback, I think that's already
Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday
Let's
morning,
give yourself some time.
Wednesday-ish.
Tuesday morning bowel movement will be
Yeah.
coming out Tuesday morning. I'm just going to say it right now. So happy to be out back in the blog streets again.
Nice.
Because I missed it.
All right, my who's back. I have 2. One is I'm the worst gambler alive. I went 0-7 and I lost my game of the year. I'm not sad about it, but whatever. And then my other who's back is college football. College football's back. Incredible Saturday. I love it too because we spent all off season. People were hand wringing. Oh my God, college football's changing. NIL, conference realignment, all this stuff. They forgot that college football still rules because of days like Saturday that had complete chaos. Texas almost beating Alabama. I'm counting Texas as back because their defense played better than they've played 15 years. I can't even remember the last time.
That defense was 100% legit.
It was awesome. And if Quentin Ewers doesn't get hurt, they win that game. I'm convinced of it.
I thought it was fucked up that he goes into the tunnel and then Colt McCoy's dad's like, no, he can't complete a pass. I won't let him back in the game.
He was like, hey,
was
play
mean.
catch with me real quick.
Yeah, that's exactly what Texas's standard was back in 2010.
Yeah.
It's funny, like the similarities between those two injuries are kind of crazy. Both quarterbacks, I think, both backup quarterbacks went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Too, but I think Texas, that's not a fluke what Texas did.
No.
Because they didn't really get that many breaks. In fact, they got fucked over on a couple bad calls.
Big time.
And they could have very easily have won that game. Their defense is actually very, very good.
Yeah, they were flying around. Bryce Young also was just insane. The way he got out of that sack was just silly.
He just kind of ducked.
He just ducked and then made the play. But what I was gonna say was all the hand wringing, everything. We had upsets. We had crazy App State going to Texas A&M. Notre Dame losing at home to Marshall. Who else lost? Nebraska firing Scott Frost. Oh, also Kansas, Duke, UNC, and Kentucky. College basketball blue bloods, all undefeated.
List?
What?
More than that.
What is it?
Scrolling.
Gonzaga.
Syracuse.
Gonzaga hasn't lost.
UCLA.
Wait, whoa. What'd you just do?
Undefeated.
You just tried to put Syracuse in the blue bloods?
No, blue bloods plus. Indiana is Kentucky, UCLA, Kansas, Duke, UNC. Those are the blue bloods. Those 6.
Mm-hmm. Syracuse?
And then I also included Syracuse and Michigan State on this list. Syracuse, Michigan State are not on that level.
Nice.
That's
you
for
put them
another
on
day.
the list.
Yeah, they're on the
nice.
list.
Smart, savvy.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
But, yes.
Wisconsin lost, whatever. Football's stupid.
The Sun Belt is the best conference in America.
Yep,
The Sun Belt East.
Yep.
Hey,
the
Jake,
Fun Belt.
could you look up, just curious, like the Sun Belt East, we listed 3 teams that had big upsets this weekend over like very, very, storied franchises. Who's in first place in the Sun Belt East? It's got to be either App State, Marshall.
That was a waste of a Google because this is a trap question, but I'm going to go ahead and say James Madison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, JMU.
Nice.
First place in the Sun Belt
Nice.
East. Best conference in sports.
Anthony Richardson Heisman campaign. It's over.
Yeah.
We had that. We always had week 1.
Dude, Mark Stoops he fucking just beats Florida. They didn't win for 20 years against Florida, and then he's beaten them 3 out of the last 5 times. And it was like, that a program has completely turned around and become something where watching that game on Saturday night, I was like, yeah, Kentucky is going to win this game because they're better, which never happened with Kentucky because they would lose in weird ways. Remember the time they just had 10 guys on the field?
On defense twice. I think they did that twice in a game.
Right. Now I'm just like, no. Kentucky's a really good football team and a good program. Like, they're going to win this game in the swamp.
Yeah. They are like a very well-built, well-coached football team.
Right. So
we interviewed him in the van in Youngstown, right?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Both Stoops
when he
brothers.
wasn't even Kentucky's.
No, he was.
He was, yeah. We had the Stoopses and Mark Mangino somehow in the van.
Wait. No,
Didn't he get in the van?
No.
He was there.
I don't know if he
was definitely there. He was at the
meet him? He definitely didn't get in the van.
I
would
him.
remember if he got in the van.
He probably would not have.
He definitely didn't get in the van. That would be something that you remember forever.
Yeah.
Kansas is back. Kansas won by 13 in overtime.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Has any team ever won by 13 in overtime before?
I think it's happened maybe once or twice before, but it was nuts. But it was one of those Saturdays that's just chaos, and every game was like staggered and perfect. Like even Iowa State, like Iowa State beating Iowa for the first time under Matt Campbell. The Pitt Tennessee game was crazy. I just love college football. I love college football, and this is a reminder to people who get upset and be like, it's being ruined, Rosillo, that college football will always rule, because at the end of the day, it's a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds making stupid decisions and fucking up games and having max chaos.
Yeah. Also, I think UNC might be the greatest team to watch in college football. I feel like it's just going to be, you want to talk about maximum chaos, I feel like that's going to be UNC every single weekend. Like, very fun to watch, but also like infuriating if you're actually a fan of UNC.
Yes. No, their quarterback is awesome and their defense is hot garbage.
Yep.
So, yeah, awesome Saturday for college football. I love college football. Scott Frost fired too soon. 16-31. Feel like he was building something.
Come on, give him a shot.
Also, just kind of a lesson. Like, Scott Frost is a good lesson. Like, Jim Harbaugh was teetering on this, but he righted the ship. And always be careful about, Scott Frost has no home now.
The alumni,
He has no home.
It's
like,
weird.
he went home to be the guy, and now he's not the guy. He can't go to a Nebraska game ever again.
No.
Like, I guess maybe in like 20 years when they're like, 1997
when
team,
they win
whatever.
a champion. It's kind of like Steve Bartman.
Yeah.
Like, if they win the big one, then they can bring him back in the parade and be like, we forgive you.
But he just ruined his home. Like, it would be so much better if Scott Frost had gone somewhere else, and the illusion of being the guy who saves Nebraska is always out there.
Yeah.
But never actually prove it.
I don't like their jerseys that they were wearing, where they had the fake mesh on the numbers, because it looks cool from a distance, but then when you see the close-ups of it, you're like, that's bullshit. If you're going to have that design, it should actually be – they should wear the old jerseys, like the old Russell Athletic ones that have those giant holes cut out in them. Can't be any worse.
No, and it's sad. I want Nebraska to be good. The saddest part about Nebraska is like we like to joke about Texas being back, Notre Dame being back, Tennessee being back. No one even makes a joke about Nebraska being back. No one's even like, if they win a big game, like Nebraska's back. Because it's just, they're not even at that joke stage.
You remember when they fired Bo Pelini essentially because he just cussed too much?
Yeah. But he had that.
They could take that one back.
Just screaming at people. All right, Billy.
My who's back is Nate Diaz.
Yes.
Nate Diaz had an awesome
There's
fight.
so much sports this weekend. I watched that too.
He was supposed to fight Kamzat, but Kamzat weighed in 7.5 pounds too much.
That feels like it was intentional, right?
That's BS.
Well, it was crazy. What they did was they just shuffled all 3 of the main cars. So they just, all these guys were like at different weights, and they just all fought different guys.
I think it's just crazy that you can miss weight by 8 pounds.
Yeah.
It was definitely on purpose.
He didn't want to get his ass beat.
Yeah, I mean, Kamzat like manhandled his guy. I forget who he fought, but I mean, Nate Diaz fights are like some of the best fights ever to watch. Even if he doesn't win.
I don't know if you guys saw, but one of the coolest UFC moments, the woman who ended her fight with a heel kidney shot.
Oh yeah,
crumpled her opponent.
Liver.
Those are my favorites.
Literally, like thought her opponent was gonna die.
The liver
heel shot. She was on the ground and she just heeled right into her opponent's liver, and she just fucking fell like a bag of, I don't know what a bag falls.
A sack of potatoes.
Yeah, House of Cards is what I was looking for. It's 2:00 in the morning.
The liver shots.
Dude, we were talking about that the other day.
I'm a freak. I'm an absolute freak for liver shot compilations.
You got to watch this liver shot. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god! So just type in heel liver shot.
Heel liver shot.
It was so sick. So sick.
Because they don't know for a second when they get hit, and then it kicks in 2 seconds later.
It happened so fast that I was like, "Oh, did she hit her in the pussy?"
Okay,
because like that's illegal. But then I was like, "No, she liver shotted her."
And it always has a sound.
Heel liver kick. Here we go. Wait, this is a minute 30 seconds. Get to the heel.
All right, go ahead, Jake, while he's watching.
My who's back is Le'Veon Bell. He knocked out Adrian Peterson.
A lot of sports.
I didn't even see this. I guess it was really late, and I woke up.
I saw it. I was up for the game of the year.
Yeah.
I saw it. Like all these things came and went.
Oh,
yeah, awesome.
That's good. That's
so
a good
sick.
liver shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was an interesting video. And by the way, reminder: next weekend, it's the defending champion Max Homa defending his Fortnite championship.
Oh, I'm gonna bet on Max.
And this is also,
and he might have a baby.
Yeah,
No, I think
it's
like
baby
a month and a half.
So the PGA Tour off season is a week, 2 weeks.
Well, when you're really good,
Well, this is when Max.
You're a golfer.
Yeah.
Also,
it's awesome.
There's a precedent.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
whatever that
what do
is.
you think they do in the offseason?
Yeah, but the
Go to the
real
range.
players don't play in the Fortnite. That's why this is our time to shine.
Defending
Max.
champions.
We
So
dominate.
A reminder:
this time.
next Sunday, in addition to football, we're gonna have the Water Dogs and Max Homa. Hopefully,
No, he's gonna win.
Yeah. So
Actually, you know
hopefully
what?
he's involved on Sunday.
Oh yeah, he did tell me last week. Yeah, he told me on Friday. He said, "I guarantee that I win."
Oh, there you go.
So it'd be
lacrosse,
unfortunate if he
golf,
didn't.
and football next Sunday.
Everyone tweet him and be like, "Thanks for guaranteeing. I'm gonna bet on you."
Do you think Max Homa is going to boycott the President's Cup because he thinks Joe Biden's illegitimate? I saw he was named to it.
That. Yeah, he did say that as well.
I have a stupid question.
What?
Is the
Fortnite Cup?
It's not actually the Fortnite. It's
Wait, you didn't let us ask the question.
okay. Sorry.
Is it golf? 2, is it named after Fortnite the game?
Yeah.
3, none of the above.
Okay, first answer your first question. Is it golf? Yes.
Oh,
It's Fortnite.
Fortinet is a cybersecurity company. They're the
So that's
sponsor
on
of
you
the tournament.
guys.
Well, it's a Tim Kennedy,
same way-
Tom Kennedy
yeah,
thing. Like, I
Alcatraz,
actually
yeah.
think it's the Fortnite.
Jack
opening.
Nicklaus.
Yeah, right. Like we just make these jokes and then eventually they just become reality.
It's an anagram.
Yeah, and we're like, Hester Muffet, the rest of me.
For tonight.
I ate a liver with some fava beans. All right, let's do numbers. Numbers are brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus. We are giving away a free subscription to Paramount Plus. It is on the YouTube. NFL on CBS is streaming live on Paramount Plus all season long, kicking off September 11th. Giving away one code for a free Paramount Plus account so you can watch along with us. See the graphic on the screen for the code. Go to ParamountPlus.com to start your free trial to watch your live local NFL on CBS game every Sunday, as well as additional exclusive NFL content. Random numbers.
I'm not guessing.
Why? No, you have to.
Hank,
Hank,
it's
you have
sponsored.
to.
It's sponsored,
Hank,
Hank.
you have to.
I
It's
think
sponsored.
I think they would
Corporate Hank, you have to.
Respect the integrity
Nope,
that
you have to.
I'm showing.
You
I
have
can't
to.
win. I
You
can't win.
You have to.
I cannot win.
Do
I
it.
can't win.
Do it.
101.
No, Hank, I'm going to be mad at you if you do. If you just say a number. Memes has 3.
Say whatever
Max-
you're thinking. You don't
Max
have to
is
pick
falling
it.
asleep. You're fucking. What is it?
56.
56. Say it.
I don't want to.
Hank, you
You're
have to.
thinking of a number.
This
I
is your-
want to
this
choke
is
you right now.
your
Like,
job, Hank.
actually want to choke you.
You have to do this. It's they're paying us money
PFT,
to
what's
do
your
this.
number? I'll give you a second to think.
I'm going to take whatever Hank does -1.
Okay.
26.
1.
Billy,
69.
Okay, Hank picked 1.
you have 2?
Yeah, I'll take 2.
All right. I'll take 4.
So we have 1 through 4.
0 can be picked or no? Is 0 in there?
No. Yeah.
4! Oh! Is that me? Yeah.
Nice.
Put it on the record book. Oh,
Kind
that
of
was crazy.
Kind of Mickey Mouse, but
I don't care.
actually, know what? Yeah,
yeah,
that would
fuck
count.
it. No, because if Hank
If
gets
Hank
it,
had gotten it, that would have been
then we
definitely Mickey
say-
Mouse.
I'll be
yeah.
honest. I don't have a
Right.
record book. Everyone's honor system
we
for
have to
how
keep-
many times
we
you
have
got
to keep honey dicking him so that he thinks this is real. And then
Big
when he gets
4.
it- Yeah, 4.
Big 4, Hank.
Well, that was.
You were close.
I mean,
That was too
that
close.
was-
damn, Hank.
But
you
that
were only
also was
way
like
too
only
off for
because of what
comfort.
you said and then what PFT said, and the memes already taken 3.
Yeah,
I was boxed into 4. You were so close, memes.
good pick, Hank.
Memes, have
were
you won
close.
it?
No.
What? No. Cut that. Hank is the only one who's never won it. All right. We will see everyone on Wednesday with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Football's back.
Love you guys.
Crows are capable of racketeering.